Hello and welcome to the Out of Spec Motoring I-90 Surge. We are attempting to find out what is truly the best electric road tripper by taking all of the longest range and fastest charging EVs on an over 3,000 mile journey across America. For added context, we are also bringing a combustion car and a first-generation Model S to see how far EVs have come and how far they still have to go. In this episode, you will be introduced to the teams. The most important and fun part of this trip are all of the amazing people joining us for this drive. Also coming up, we will be leaving Seattle. Of course, the race is from Seattle to Boston, so in this episode, we will be making our way deep into Montana as night sets in. You'll see how every expert team optimizes their cars because, of course, every EV has different driving efficiencies, charging station availability, and charging behavior. Enjoy the start of the I-90 Surge. The I-90 Surge is brought to you by Exter. Exter has made my favorite wallet for years, genuinely, and this is the new Card Holder Pro. Made from 100% recycled aluminum, I can push this metal trigger right here and fan out my card stack. It can hold up to 14 cards now, in addition to these, extra card carrying capacity right here. Exter also makes a full range of accessories, this one being my favorite, and it integrates perfectly with Apple Find My, so if I leave my wallet behind, boom, can find it on a map. Head to the link in the description below and use code OUTOFSPEC at checkout, and I appreciate Exter for sponsoring the Surge. This video is brought to you by Autel Energy. Autel is a fully vertical manufacturer powering up your electric cars with a wide range of chargers, from residential AC chargers to commercial DC chargers up to 640 kilowatts and upcoming MCS offerings. Head to autelenergy.com to find the right EVSE for you. Hello, good morning, and welcome to another Out of Spec Motoring road trip, an epic one at that. We are at Starbucks headquarters in Seattle, Washington, about to race 10 vehicles from here in Seattle all the way to Boston, Massachusetts. Now, Jordan, we use the term race lightly because this is not, there's very strict speed caps. It's not about how fast you can drive, but with electric cars, it's all about how fast they can charge and how far you can go after you unplug. It's a charging and efficiency race and a bit of infrastructure, and we have brought along all of the fastest charging and longest range cars in as close as we could get them, the perfect specifications for this test. We're really lucky to have all these cars, and we have 10 cars and 30 people. So a huge shout out to everyone joining. We're gonna run through that in a moment and just quickly introduce you to all the teams. This is going to be a multi-part series, and we've already posted the intro where we've introduced you to all of the competitors that will be here. So check out that video. It's the previous one on this one, and it'll be linked in the description. So Jordan, you join me behind the camera. Road trip all the way from Seattle to Boston, 3,000 miles on I-90. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Let's do this.
All right.
This is the I-90 Surge.
Do you want to commemorate the I-90 Surge? All 10 of these cars went across the country in the most epic race of team optimization, efficiency, and charging that you've ever seen.
Whoa, where did they get that sweet shirt?
Great question. Head to shop.outofspecstudios.com and grab yours today. Wow, this guy's really on it. We have a variety of colors to choose from. Oh, and you like this hat? Well, that's over there too.
Yeah, I already got it.
Dang, that was fast. Just like our team.
Man, I love it.
We are going across the country in some incredible electric cars. We have, just out of whatever order they're parked in here, we have a Tesla Model 3 long range, a Hyundai Ioniq 6, a Mercedes EQS, a Porsche Taycan, a BMW i7, a Genesis G80, a first generation Model S. We'll get back to that in a moment. We also have a Lucid Air, which is just charging to 100% on the Starbucks chargers over there. And we also have a missing one, Tesla Model S, a new one.
Yep.
Okay, so we brought along two extra vehicles, the Model S 85, and this is one of the very first Teslas ever produced. And we wanted to see how much progress has been made from the early days. So there's going to be a team road tripping this across the country. It's as healthy as we could find a car, and shout out to the guys at Conduit EV for loaning us this one. And we also have a combustion car, an Acura TLX Type S. which is a sort of mid-size, sporty, premium sedan, but it's actually not crazy efficient. That car's more optimized for performance, so it's closer in performance to Ioniq 6 Model 3 to an electric variant, but not really the most highway range capable vehicle, which is kind of why we selected it, Jordan.
Yeah, it's a perfect blend of the gas guzzling comparisons to these cars, like the i7,
Right.
as well as the more efficient ones. So
Yep, absolutely. So also have to give a shout out here to Autel for sponsoring this video and this series. They joined us. They make cool charging equipment. So, and they're just friends of mine. They're awesome people. So love to work with friends in the industry. It's really awesome. And they'll be in the electrified G80, excuse me. So let's just run quickly through the teams. We'll line everyone up by their cars, introduce you to everyone, but we won't spend too much time ahead. We've already done the big intro. It's time to get on the road as soon as possible, Jordan, and head to Boston. The rules of the race, just so everyone knows, we've charged everything to 100% state of charge, and we basically go no more than 10 miles an hour over the speed limit. Many teams will choose to go slower, but this is not a race of how fast you can drive. That's the absolute maximum speed cap, and it's just a which charger is going to work the best for you type thing. You will be driving the Model 3 long range.
that's right.
Shout out to Tesla for loaning us that car.
That's crazy. A loaner from Tesla.
That's crazy. Also, all of the other automakers that decided to take part. The Genesis G80, Genesis wanted to give us a car, but they actually don't have any in their fleet right now because this car is getting a mid-cycle refresh. So we rented this from Avis, so shout out to Avis. BMW sent us the i7 rear drive big battery, so this is awesome to have this. Porsche sent us a big battery rear drive Taycan, which is awesome. Mercedes sent us a big battery rear drive EQS. Hyundai sent us a big battery rear drive.
There's a theme here.
Ioniq 6. So we have all of the perfect long range specifications except for one car, which is the Model S.
Which is supposed to be close.
So when they were produced, it was a 9-mile EPA difference between plaid and long range. Now, if you look at the current testing, which has changed, it's quite a bit more. But we tried everything to find a fresh Model S long range and just couldn't. Tesla says this is the one to use. So let's get everyone and introduce the teams, Jordan.
Yep.
And then we're gonna get in the cars and everyone's gonna share their story across the country. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. I have no idea who's gonna win. You have great charging infrastructure going up against great charging performance with the Taycan, going up against great range with the Lucid, going up against German consistency with the Mercedes, and German luxury with the i7.
Right.
That is the most comfortable car here, which is why I'm going in the
jealous
i7.
of you.
I've got the executive rear seats with massaging second row.
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a Model 3, so.
But on paper, the i7 simulates out to be the worst, which is why I'm going in there.
You're giving me
and
the
here
best
comes
shot.
our Model S long range right now.
Lovely.
Excuse me, plaid.
All right, let's get the teams on camera.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, this is the team on the gas car.
That's right. The winningest team.
You're the winningest team.
Hold the most titles.
We're the least worried. We'll be the most comfortable. We have golf clubs in the back.
Yeah.
In case you find a golf course.
We're on vacation, folks.
Confidence is high.
Okay, any strategy to speak of, or are you just winging it?
Yep.
Okay.
We're driving to Boston.
Boston, okay. Well, that's easy. All right, next. Team Lucid. How are you feeling?
Stoked.
All right, so we're gonna be talking strategy in the car, but I just wanted you guys to introduce yourselves. We have Alex here, Shane, Dave, great to see you as always.
Good to see you.
It's up to you to show the food scene in this car.
Listen, we're not playing around this time. This is serious business because this is a serious car here, and we owe it to the car to give it the best chance to win.
Right, longest range car here, highest peak charging speed. We'll see how the curve actually holds up.
Right.
Shane's got the shirt, so you guys are very official. Anything else you want to share before we embark on this journey?
My only thought is the Taycan with its beastly charging curve. That's going to be really interesting. We're gonna be out front for a while, but I think they're going to slowly catch up to us. And the question is, are they going to overtake us before the end or not? So we'll see.
All right, so you're keeping your eye on the Taycan.
Definitely.
Good to know. Good luck.
I'm just mostly concerned if this or the i7 has a more comfortable massaging seat.
Right, yeah. You're one of the few massaging seats in this race, so good luck, sir.
We're here with the Model 3. Can you tell me a little bit about what you guys are going to be up to?
Yeah, Jordan, Andreas, and Adam. Me and Andreas have been known as Team Food before, but we may not have as much time for food this time because this car is a ripper down low in the pack. So we're just going to take it out, see what happens. We'll talk strategy in the car, but I think we are like the sleeper of this race. Like it's the one not everyone's really thinking about, but I think it has a good chance on paper.
I agree. Yeah, I think we have a good chance. I own a long range all-wheel drive, and it goes pretty far. This one goes even further on paper, which means it will go even further.
That's right.
On paper.
This is personal because this is almost the exact same car Andreas has, and this is the exact car I'm looking to buy. So this is like very intriguing for us.
Yeah, I'm optimistic we can maybe get podium or maybe win.
That would be crazy. It's possible.
Okay, so the other quote-unquote underdogs in this race, the Ioniq 6 team, how are you guys feeling?
Great. Feeling like a winner.
Excellent.
As always.
Preconceived winner, yeah. Of course, we have the Ioniq guy here, so
Happy to join.
basically one of the pros.
That's the secret weapon we got. No, not only is the car a sleeper, but we got the Ioniq guy piloting the Ioniq. I feel really good about our chances.
Okay, so you'll be talking strategy in the car to the camera, but is there any other cars you're worried about right now? Like keeping your eye on?
I mean, Model 3, obviously, because it's our most direct competitor.
Right.
We got to beat the Model 3.
Right. Okay, well, good luck. We'll see how comfortable your car is. Yours is also the least optioned car of the bunch.
Don't even have a auto dim rear view mirror.
Right, you have the manual dimming mirror.
Flip a mirror. And God knows how long. We're roughing it here, but
all right,
it's going to make the win all that much better.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome to the team piloting the EQS. I'm so sorry I have to deal with cushions, pillows, massaging seats, hyper screen. But how are you feeling about the race, and who's your eye on for competition?
The Lucid.
Okay.
The Lucid and the Model 3.
Right.
I'm concerned for the Model 3.
You should be.
They can charge at the superchargers, and nobody else can.
Okay.
What an advantage for them.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, charging network will be very interesting. So you guys will talk strategy in your car, but honestly, best of luck.
Thank you. Our goal is to get there as smoothly and comfortably as possible while beating as many folks as we can.
That shouldn't be too hard.
Yes.
You'll be well rested.
And the pillows. Comfortable.
I'm so sorry to deal with the pillows. Okay, Team Taycan, you guys look like real heroes, especially with this shirt. So, who are you eyeing as like your fiercest competition right now?
I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how the charging goes, but man, you know, Lucid, Model 3, maybe even Ioniq 6. I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how things play out, because yeah, we've got some efficient high-range vehicles.
Nice. Okay. Yep. And it sounds like, David, you've been doing a lot of strategy behind the scenes, so excited to see how you share that in the car when I'm editing this.
I've already done a little intro of our strategy.
Perfect. And if you win, will you buy one?
Oh, I shouldn't, but yeah, I want one.
Okay, if I win, I'll buy my car, and then okay. Good luck, folks. All right, we have the I-17 here. Looks like a very serious, fierce crew. How are you feeling? You came all the way from Norway for this.
Yes, of course.
How are you feeling?
I'm here to learn about American charging infrastructure.
Okay.
And of course the i7.
Okay.
And it's very comfortable.
I think you'll be extremely impressed with the i7 part of that. Anyways, Chris, how are you feeling?
Great, how are you?
Good, I'm ready for this trip.
Yes.
I'm jealous of the comfort of your car.
I'm looking forward to that comfort.
What'd the Taycan team say?
They don't even think of you. They're just looking at the Lucid over there.
They don't know what's coming.
They don't know what's coming. Okay. And the EQS claimed they were the most comfortable car, so...
That's not even, like, remotely possible.
Okay.
This is the most comfortable.
So we have different sub-races happening here beyond just the one who arrives first.
I mean, at the end of the day, the i7 on paper, things are not looking good for us.
Right.
We have pretty low range, pretty poor charging performance, and the BMW thing where iX and i4 derate after multiple DC sessions.
Yep.
And so we're really worried about this, which is why I'm going in here, because I want to optimize it best we can.
Yep.
But we're really eyeing EQS. You know, I really think there's this ultra luxury German subcategory, G80, maybe could be good. I don't know. We'll have to see. That car is going to take a lot of manual effort to optimize. This has route planning and some other stuff in here, preconditioning. So we're going to pull out all the stops in the i7 with massaging seats.
Yeah.
Great Bowers & Wilkins sound system. And we're just going to cruise with the best highway driver assistance of any car here.
That's very true.
But I do think the winner is going to be between Model 3 long range, Taycan, and Lucid.
That'll be very, very interesting. You guys are going to learn how to optimize the heck out of this car because of this guy. And that's going to be really fun. So looking forward to seeing how you share your strategy in the car as you guys embark, but we are almost there. The Genesis G80, how are you guys feeling?
Bad. Excited.
Okay, excited, bad, okay. Do you see any direct competitor in this mix? I mean, who are you eyeing to be the closest to in your race?
Ioniq 6.
Ioniq 6?
Or I hate to be pessimistic and say the old Model S. We're going to be better than that.
Right.
Maybe the i7.
That, yeah. That'll be interesting. Ioniq 6, i7, or G80.
It's not very efficient.
Yep. But it is comfortable.
Yes.
It's a good ride. Has massaging seats?
The front seat's comfortable.
Okay, nice. Seats. Not so much. Okay. Well, either way, this should be interesting. Looking forward to hearing your strategy in the car, because this car doesn't have, you know, the route planning that some of the other cars have, at least as nearly as good. So
you could stick to it and just lose dramatically.
Exactly. Well,
we need to depend on apps for some route planning, but we need to also use the navigation, to kick in preconditioning.
Yep.
So that's kind of important.
Yeah, so that'll be very interesting. Got some super nerds in this car for a reason. Best of luck. Model S Plaid. Brian, you are like a champ in these races. Any thoughts on your direct most competitor and just how you guys are feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling very confident. I think we've got a huge advantage using the Tesla Supercharger network. I think the Model 3 has, of course, the same advantage.
Right.
They're a bit more efficient. We've got a slightly better charging curve. I do think the efficiency will end up being a little bit beneficial, but I think it's going to be very close between these two. But either way, I'm pretty confident that both of these will end up with at least a podium finish.
I'm very intrigued. Andy, Matt, any thoughts?
Well, it feels like a home run for me driving this car.
Right, you basically have this exact car at home.
My wife is driving it, and I had one Model X Plaid before. I'm driving Tesla since 2015, so I'm a Tesla person, basically.
Yeah. Good luck. Matt, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I think, just like Brian said, I think that we are going to be right up there in the top.
Nice.
We've got an efficient car. We've got a decent curve under 50% that I think that we can really lean into.
Yep.
I think the wild card for us is the Lucid and their insane range that they have at the beginning.
Right.
Because if they can make it 400 plus miles without having to stop for a bathroom break, they're gonna have a pretty good leg up on us at the beginning.
That's the thing, yeah. Their range is more than most people's bladders, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Puts them in the category of always being first, kind of on every charger.
Yep.
Yeah, they may not have to deal with congestion.
Right. Yep. Well, best of luck to you guys. I'll be keeping an eye on you as well, because I'm like your direct competitor right there. So we'll see what happens.
We'll be running into each other.
Right. We have the classic Model S. I feel weird calling something from 2013 a classic, but here we are. How are you guys feeling?
It's a classic.
It's a classic, the trusty old Model S. We're probably going to come dead last, or probably pretty close to it, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see how well it stacks up against all the competition.
Right. I am very intrigued. A lot of people are intrigued. I wonder when the last time someone took a first generation Model S across the country, or even on a long trip in general, other than Kyle getting it up here.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that road trip them, fairly frequently. I know plenty of people in the community that take them on longer trips.
Yeah.
But I don't know when the last time would have been that someone went all the way across the country. That's a pretty long trip for one of these cars these days.
This will be very interesting. A lot of people are eyeing these cars. A lot of people see these on the used market and they're like, wow, a cheap Tesla.
Yeah, they can be picked up pretty cheap these days for sure.
Exactly. Well, any more final thoughts? Of course, you'll share the strategy in the car, but as far as final thoughts before the race.
We're looking forward to stopping twice as much as anyone else. We can enjoy the country.
That's right. The more stops, the more refreshed you might be.
Indeed. More bathroom breaks, more snacks, you name it.
Right. Okay, well, maybe you guys are team food this time. Best of luck.
All right, guys, I've got the cars all arranged in order of EPA range from the shortest to longest range. Now, we typically don't trust EPA range. We always do our own testing and use that, but I haven't range tested a couple of these cars, Genesis G80 being one of them, so we're going off the EPA test. So we're giving a slight head start advantage to the lowest range cars, and then a slight handicap to the longest range cars, because getting out of the city is a little tight. Now, we are very close to the highway, so it's like a couple stoplights and boom, we're up to speed. And of course, you guys know how these things always go. It's a lot of optimizing through traffic and, of course, keeping within the speed limits, and everyone will be safe. But that's kind of the plan. So we go shortest range to longest range. Surprisingly, the combustion car is not the longest range here. The Lucid actually is. So the Lucid will be leaving last, and the old Model S 85 will be leaving first. By the the way, just in case anyone's curious and didn't watch the intro, I made sure all the cars are at 100%. The cars with DC charge counters, we've AC charged as much as possible ahead of this. So BMW and Lucid and some other things that benefit from some AC charging before a lot of DC charging, they've all been optimized. We've taken every precaution as we could possibly think of, and it is as good of a test as we can get. But of course, it's real world with real charging and lots of people driving, and I have no idea what's going to happen. It seems crazy. So anyway, join us for the drive. Thank you for sticking with us, and this would not be possible without you, the viewers, or my friends who are here all driving the cars. So to make this is really a dream come true for me. This is a pinch yourself moment, and we're ready to drive across the country. Guys, you join us actually over at Colton's shop all the way in Colorado, mostly because I wanted to say a huge thank you to Autel for sponsoring this video. And I wanted to give Dan the opportunity to tell us a little bit about the company, our partnership, why they decided to be crazy enough to join us on the I-90 Surge, branding the Genesis G80 as the Autel car. And of course, Dan's an EV enthusiast if you don't know him by now, but you'll see him throughout the series. And, you know, of course, you'll see the ads for Autel at the beginning of the videos. It doesn't paint a picture as to truly how collaborative our relationship is. And a lot of that comes down to you guys, of course, buying their products, sharing feedback, using their public DC chargers. So I wanted to give Dan an opportunity to tell us about Autel and why the heck we're working together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. And, you know, it's really out of spec. You know, your input has been monumental to our success already. Not only you directly and your team, but also all the viewers too. So, you know, we look at all the input, whether it's somebody with a single residential charger at their home or a driver at one of our DC fast charging public sites. We take all that input seriously. And this is, you know, this was our very first product to market. We took a lot of the input on this, and we're now putting that into our next generation of products, you know, which we're launching actually December, so a couple of months from now. And it's really helped us get to where we're at, and that's the type of feedback that we really want from the community.
So I think to give our viewers a bit of an understanding as to what Autel is, because we've done videos together on the reviews channel and some other stuff, the product range goes everything from low power AC, residential and commercial. So for example, we're putting in a dual 100 amp, well, dual 80 amp output AC Ultra, is that what it's called?
Yep.
At our office, which is going to be really cool. So a video coming on that. But you go all the way from like a singular unit up to 640 kilowatt high power and beyond into next year. So help people understand just like how big the product range is.
Yeah, well, so I mean, this was, you know, the very first product to market. Our next upcoming is our AC Pro, so it's a 80 amp single port. It has a lot of the technologies that this, you know, they didn't exist when this was launched. So ISO 15118, OCPP 2.0. It's got a lot of new technologies as far as like Wi-Fi communication, which helps daisy chain. Well, it's kind of like its own mesh network. That'll establish between multiple chargers to establish the connectivity, because we all know one of the biggest issues with any public chargers is if they lose connectivity, then nobody can use them if it's a paid charger. So we've got that. We've got obviously our DC Compact, the 40 kilowatt mobile.
That's my favorite one, by the way. I love that thing.
Yep. So that's an awesome product. Our DC Fast, which is you know, a scalable all-in-one unit, so anywhere from 60 all the way up to 240 kilowatts in any 20 kilowatt increment. So, I mean, that was our first DC charger to market, and it's still, you know, we still, you know, we launched version 2, which, you know, a few revisions, but I mean, that product for like a first generation is still very relevant today. We're still selling a lot of them, and many deployed throughout, you know, North America and globally as well. And then last but not least, our DC High Power, which is our newest launch product, and that's 640 kilowatts, distributed DC setup. You can have, you know, multiple different dispensers.
Yeah, and that's NEVI compliant because you have a factory in North Carolina now, so they're being built in the U.S. You know, it's just super cool. I mean, from my side, working with such a large charging manufacturer, but then is nimble enough to like make these small changes like so quickly. Like I remember when the first product launched, the cable really sucked. There was no way around it. Yep. And then like, you know, within a matter of weeks, you had a new cable shipping on chargers with a retrofit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what the heck? That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that first cable worked great in warm weather, but it was cold weather, then it was just way too stiff. So we saw that, and it's like, you know what? All right, we got to fix this right away. So we reacted very quickly. You know, that's what it takes to make it in obviously any market, but especially the U.S. market. We got to be, you know, take all that feedback very seriously. And you know, the other thing too that I think is setting us apart from some of the others too is that, you know, we're not a CPO ourselves, but we sell the hardware and the software solution. So we've got our Autel network. You know, anybody can deploy a charger on that, and it's, you know, really robust software platform. All of our stuff is OSCP compliant as well, so we've got a lot of third-party CPOs.
Actually, on that point, I was just at the BMW huge facility in South Carolina. They use all Autel chargers on the Autel network. Yep. So you have the Autel app, scan the QR code. I can monitor the session remotely. It like works perfectly. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then all that data is stored on your app as well. So, and then you can view it from the cloud, or the CPO can. So, yeah, I mean, we're gaining a lot of market share, and I think it's really a result of how quickly we've adjusted to the market and how quickly we've been bringing relevant products to the market that, you know, the industry has spoken. And we like to say that we were late to the game because we learned what not to do. So we saw a lot of the mistakes that other manufacturers had made, and you know, they're all innovators for the market, and you know, we've taken a lot of that input and built it into our chargers, and you know, I think that's a part of our success within the North American market.
So you guys will actually see some Autel chargers in part 3 of this series. So we're going to hit some. And anyway, so you'll see some stuff going. Hopefully into the future, more and more will pepper the US, but they're very popular in certain regional areas at the moment and growing. We have some here in Colorado as an example. So I want to say a huge thank you, of course, to you and Autel, not only for sponsoring it and doing a car, but like you're actually coming on the trip.
Absolutely.
Which is going to be awesome. So
yeah, when you sent me the offer, I could not pass it off. So trip of a lifetime, can't wait for it.
Cool beans. Well, anyway, that's why you're seeing all the Autel ads. Let's get back to the action, but I wanted you guys to have that full picture as to what the heck this relationship is like, and it's extremely collaborative, and many of it thanks to you for your feedback when you're using their units.
Hey, it's David with the Taycan team here. So I wanted to start out with the intro of our planned strategy for this first stop. So our biggest competitor is the Lucid. So their advantage is they're going to have that huge initial range over us and get to go further before their first charging stop. But we charge faster than them, so we're hoping to catch them. We're going to try to extend our range to Post Falls, Idaho, where there is a Pilot Flying J EV Go. That should give us full power, and that would put us just one stop away from where the Lucid's planning to stop at Smelterville in Idaho. So if we can do that, we can charge faster than them at our stop, get back on the road, and hopefully catch them as quickly as we can, and then try to stay ahead of them. But that's going to be the test. Can we actually go 302 miles on our first leg at freeway speeds? At 70, we should be able to do 360, not counting elevation and wind and everything. But we're probably going to be going faster than 70, so we'll see. Updates later when we set off.
All right, we're in the Legacy Model S here. We're talking strategy. All right, what's going on? Where's our first stop?
So right now it's looking like we want to try and hit our first stop here in Sprague, Washington, which might be a little bit of a stretch, but we're going to see if we can make that. If not, we might either stop in Ritzville or Moses Lake. One of those two, I think, one of those options will be our best shot. So
cool. So we got what, an hour and a half till that first stop?
Yeah, probably something like that. So if we go out of that, we're showing a -1% arrival, but usually the nav in these is a little bit pessimistic when you first start out, and then it kind of increases a little bit. But that's actually estimating 3 hours.
3 hours, okay.
A little over 3 hours to get there. So yeah, I guess we'll see how that shakes out.
All right, so we're here in the 2024 Ioniq 6 SE rear-wheel drive, big battery pack, big range. We're showing, well, we just turned on climate because it's getting a little warm in here. We're showing 348 miles at 100% state of charge in eco mode. Because of that big number, we think we might make it to Idaho. It's a long shot. But our fallback plan is there's a bunch of EA chargers in Spokane, Washington. That's how far?
291.
291 miles. So we're pretty sure we can definitely make that. There is a 10 mile per hour tailwind right now. So we've got Mother Nature on our side.
Yep. We got some elevation to deal with, but we're going to get a little bit of it back.
Right.
So we're going to have to kind of play that by ear.
So what I'm thinking is probably on the opposite side of the mountain, when we're going down, what I like to do on the highway is I don't know if this gives us any benefit, but I disconnect highway drive assist, the automated cruise control, and I will modulate regen myself to try and maintain speed. Energy has to go somewhere. It doesn't just evaporate. Yep. So it's probably just me being anal. I'm pretty sure highway drive assist is modulating the speed properly and regenning just as much, but I, for some reason, just like to have a little bit of manual control. So I might do that. We'll see. We'll play with it.
Yeah, I think if you feather it, you could probably squeak a little bit more out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be from here to hopefully Idaho. We've got this guy's insane spreadsheet.
Yeah.
We got Excel for the win here on this one. That's what's going to take us right to the line.
We've got OBD2 data. We're going to monitor how much power we have left in the battery pack. Once we start seeing around 3 kilowatt hours left, that's when we're going to really start to slow down our speed and start to be like, we need to stop real soon. We got to turn off AC, turn off climate control. Oh no, we just ticked to 99%. Turn climate off.
Climate off. We need every percent we can get.
Yep, but we should see up to 245 kilowatts at peak, and it holds that charge curve for a long time.
Yeah.
I did a test on my channel. I drove my Ioniq 6, same spec as this, till it wouldn't move anymore. And I did, I think, 16 miles past zero before the car literally stopped moving. I was doing laps in my backyard on the grass until it just stopped moving. And then I had to push it up to the house to plug it into level 1 and charge. But yeah, so we do have a buffer on the bottom. If we get to that point, we're going to really slow down our speeds on the highway, and we'll crawl if we got to get there. Could be
feather it in.
We could feather it in. It could it could hurt us, but we'll figure it out.
Sweet. Yeah. In the last trip, we definitely gave ourselves a buffer, charged a few extra percentages each time. So I'm excited to see for this one, we're not going to do that. We're probably going to be driving at 0% before we make it to the charging station.
Yep.
So for all the stations that you mapped out, what's the slowest charging station that you saw?
Every station that we're going to has at least one 350 along the route operational.
Okay, nice.
The question is it operational? Is it actually getting 350 kilowatts?
Yeah.
Is somebody going to be using it?
So I think our strategy is to make it there, first of all.
We're going to take a left out of here. We're getting on the very start of I-90. And, I think this thing's showing about 316 miles of range. There's a Electrify America station 220 miles away. Should be able to make it there. But
a better route planner says we won't be able to make it there.
Yes.
It says it'll be real close, but it says we will have to stop before that. So, and that's it's 220 miles away?
Yeah, so that's 220 miles away, but I think, so at exactly 110 miles away, there's a different EA station in Ellensburg. So we can see what our SOC is when we get there, because that would be about the halfway point. So
it is mountainous in the first half and then flat in the last half. As far as overall strategy, though, we have very limited charger selection at the beginning, so we're just do what we can.
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got CCS charging and Tesla Magic Dock, basically, if we're lucky.
Yes, but it's a 550 volt car. It has to use its onboard booster at superchargers. So it's only 120 kilowatts instead of the full 180 at superchargers. So those are good to avoid.
Yeah.
Unless they're absolutely necessary.
Yeah. If we have to hit up a Tesla or a free wire charger, we can. But if we can find, some higher output EA chargers, that's going to be the best route for this.
Do we know if there's any EVgo along this route?
There's 2 Pilot Flying J in Washington.
With EVgo?
Yeah.
But we probably won't stop there?
Not at the first one, but the second one, I think it's around Spokane. Or maybe right over into Idaho. Yeah, I think the Ioniq 6 has us beat. We might have a shot against the i7, maybe.
I think we do.
Really?
Yeah. The ABRP says that we'll get there an hour sooner.
Oh, really?
That's why Kyle put himself in the i7, because it's disadvantaged.
I see. Oh, that's interesting. So the first leg of the trip, 3 hours, 13 minutes, 220 miles, it says, to the first.
We have 316 miles of estimated range. This says it's 220 miles away. I bet that estimated range number shrinks as we start going.
Strategy, let's go.
Use our range as much as possible.
So indicated as 362 right now. I think EPA is 363.
Yep.
360?
No, 361 or 363. I forget which one. I think 363 is EPA.
Yeah. So again, this is the long-range rear-wheel drive with Panasonic battery, right?
Panasonic battery. That's what we're told. Well, we're gonna find out real quick.
Can you just climb under the car and check the battery sticker?
So we'll for sure make it to Sprague. It's only 230 miles, but we gotta do some elevation gain.
It's called South Prague, actually.
And we might be able to make it to Spokane. That is what we are aiming for, but we'll see what the efficiency looks like and how optimistic this route planner is. We do have some buffer below zero, as I discovered in your car, Andreas.
Yeah.
But maybe we can make it to Spokane.
So let's see. If you go there, 5%,
Still 70. But that's
Nice.
a 5% buffer. So
Yeah.
I think we keep navigating to this, and then we know we have a fallback roughly 12% sooner.
Right.
Just to see. But 270 miles, that's 100 below what this car can do at 70.
Yeah.
But the elevation, again, will be the interesting thing. I mean, what I've noticed in Teslas, and you've road tripped more than I have even in Teslas, is that we basically use the route planning as guidance, but we do manually do every single stop, like gradually each stop at a time, checking various options, seeing what they'll actually be able to do, and see how elevation, wind, everything, like we don't know the weather along the whole route, of course.
I think we have a tailwind right now of 12
Yep.
miles.
And Adam, what are your thoughts as well? You're experienced.
Experience and everything but this rear-wheel drive long range.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping it does much better than what that's saying it's doing.
Yeah, this will be interesting. I mean, I know this route somewhat, the first third anyways, so we'll see how this compares to the Lucid, which I took on the route last time.
Yeah, we have an 8-mile-an-hour tailwind, 17 in some spots.
Wow.
So
that's good.
We have good tailwind for now.
Tailwind.
We'll see what happens later.
We're gonna keep it possibly.
Okay.
So
it may reverse
it
around
may reverse
the
around
Midwest.
the storm.
Yep.
So yeah,
we'll keep an eye on that, but this should be interesting.
All right, so because of limitations in how far this can calculate, we have to do an on-the-way destination. What are we going to do, Isaiah and Sebastian? We're going to trust this
Mercedes.
We're going to trust in Mercedes to get us to our destination.
Turn left onto First Avenue South.
And so one really cool thing it just did is it knows that there's 3 people in the car from the seat sensor. So it asked, do you want to use carpool lanes? You say yes. So, all right, 4 charging stops.
Charging stations have been added to your route. The route includes carpool lanes. Please check access restrictions.
Well, she's not annoying at all. So, looks like Spokane, Washington, a little outside of Helena, Billings, and then wherever that is on the way to South Dakota.
Yeah, and probably at Billings at some point we're gonna switch our final.
Go to the next
final destination.
Perfect.
Because I think it is limited to about 7 charges, about 24 hours of driving.
Ah, okay.
Usually fits all.
And so, as of right now, we're at 99%. It says we can go 362 miles, which is just over its EPA estimated range of 352 or so. So we're going 301 miles to the first charging station, and it says we'll arrive with 12%, which is plenty. Where do we want to end up at each charging station ideally? Can we reduce that?
We can. We can change
somewhere in the settings.
Change the settings. I'd say let's do it on the road.
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Absolutely.
And let's also just see how accurate it is, right? Because there might be traffic.
But it'll be fine because we all got good sleep last night, right?
Yeah. And we're in a Mercedes EQS.
We are in a Mercedes EQS, and
it gets better.
Massage.
So you might also want to point out that unlike most of the others here, we are not hypermiling.
Yes.
We're going to take full advantage of...
We're going to be comfortable.
Right.
Yeah, we want to be fully comfortable.
We have a fully loaded trunk with food and supplies.
Yes, we have many supplies, and we are all good on that front. And you have a bonus screen.
Yes.
So you can go in there and control things or play music or whatever.
No, it's not. But
yeah, it does the whole thing. All right, so we got our climate set, we got our massage turned on, we got all our various functions, got our side bolsters, seat kinetics. I did automatic seat positioning. We are, I think we're doing pretty good here.
We're here in the Model S Plaid, and we've actually just let the map show us what we're going to be doing as far as this whole trip. We're obviously not going to be following that exactly. Our general strategy, of course, with our first leg, go as far as we can and plug in as low as possible. But from there, it's just going to be trying to ride the charging curve as much as possible. So relatively short legs, trying not to spend too long at chargers, but also being sensitive with knowing that every time that you have to get off for a charger, you're losing time. So just balancing that and making sure that we charge up enough so we don't have to reduce our speed. I think that's a really critical thing that is a pretty big advantage. So I think that'll be really important for us to do. Do you guys have any additional thoughts?
Well, one thing I usually do is, like we did, just giving in the overall goal. But for the first leg, since we're on 100%, I'm trying to really navigate to the farthest charger that we can go. So manually put it in, and it will always say, you know, you have to charge for like 10 minutes or so somewhere. So removing the charging stop to see how far we can really go on the first one. So basically I would end the trip, I would turn this on and say, let's see how far this one is, remove all the charging stops just to see how far we could stretch it. So we supposed to get all the way over to, and I'm very bad with American city names, so Ritzville. So we should be able to make it over there on 5% charge. So I would say that should be our first stop.
The only thing I saw is that is a 150 kilowatt,
yeah.
So we might want to see if there's a 250 nearby. Yeah, and as we get going, once we're at a charging stop, that's when we're going to be planning out the following charging stop. It just gets really complicated and messy if you try to plan out too far in advance. So yeah, I think we're more or less ready.
Let's see if we can tuck in behind the I-7 and draft. Let them block a little bit of that wind, and then we can make it.
Not a bad idea.
Speed-wise, Ryan, I know his strategy extensively because I've done races against him where he was in Teslas and I was not. Just charge, maybe even charge a little bit extra so that you can keep the speed on between stops. What really kills you is when you have to lower speed. That's how we passed the EV9 in our epic race to Vegas with the SUVs. They had to scrub speed off to get to the charger because they didn't charge quite enough. So Ryan insists charging about 5% over. I'm guessing that's what he's saying over in his car right now.
And making sure that we charge up enough so we don't have to reduce our speed.
And so if we stay and charge a tiny bit extra, it pretty much always pays off because that way we can keep maximum up to 10 over the speed limit and we should be fine. So we'll see. This is 3,000 miles to continually develop our strategy. So the strategy right now may change.
4,800 kilometers for the...
yeah, we have him here to translate. We should change our cabin temperature to 19 Celsius.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, BMW i7, William and Uncle Chris back here.
Hey guys.
We are ready to go on a very luxurious trip. Our plan is actually one that we haven't thought about yet.
I did think we could make it 220 miles at least.
Yeah.
To the first Electrify America.
Once again, or say help.
Why is it yelling at us? Already annoyed, but we've got all of our stuff figured out. We've got our phone keys in the wallets. We're good to go. And we have the most comfortable car here, no question.
Absolutely.
How is it back there, Chris?
We'll be sleeping.
So we have 105 kilowatt hours, which isn't a ton. Lucid has 118, and we are the single motor rear drive. And I've never tested the eDrive 50 i7 before, but hopefully we're good. We're on the Aero wheels. Not the super duper Aero wheels, but the almost maximum Aero wheels. And everything's good. We're climate keeps turning on for some reason. We got to keep it off. And we're trying to optimize this as much as possible. So our plan is, once we're on the road, we'll look at our efficiency. We'll get to the farthest away charger we absolutely can. And then it's just charger hopping across the country. Should be crazy.
Now we're going to be spending a lot of time together on this trip. So I like to just start things out with a very basic question. Trump or Kamala?
That's really the only way to start
I'm just
it
looking
off.
to bring us together, okay? This is gonna be something we never forget. Spending 3,000 miles in 2025 TLX Type S. Shows 342 miles of range.
It shows that. The paper shows 250 or something.
Oh, really?
No, that's what we were thinking.
Yeah. So, and we're showing 25.6 miles per gallon. So, yeah, we'll be calculating that as we go across the country.
Yeah.
So far, comfort's nice.
Not bad. Great seats on.
Great.
We got to give them credit for the seats.
Seats are nice. Seats are nice. Heated, cooled. The windows. Show them what the windows do. Look at these windows.
Hands-free, baby.
Hands-free. Drop all the way to the bottom.
And up. In the rear.
So auto up?
Auto up in the rear. Wow. Crazy rare.
The tech pack in this is astonishing.
Astonishing.
Guys, what's our strategy? Just drive and get gas?
I think it's adjust our headrests and kind of just feel out the sound system and just kind of see when we end up in Boston.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Hot dogs, taquitos. What are we going to get at the gas station?
Some vodka. Just enjoy the day.
Yeah, we might go to a resort. I don't really know.
A water park would be a good time, I guess.
Yeah, water parks would be sick.
Yeah, I did mention to Kyle we should get a hotel room, but he was like, no, just take an extra stop for dinner or lunch, make it a little bit longer. So I think that is what we'll do, because for us this is just a leisure drive. Right. No charging, just stop to get gas when maybe a quarter tank, a bit under that.
Absolutely.
And then just cruise. I do think the Lucid will beat us in the first leg.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that,
good luck.
Yeah,
it probably won't even. They'll be stuck.
Yeah, maybe even the new Model 3, if they're not going too fast, they might even beat us as well, because it got 370 miles at 70 miles an hour.
All right, we've entered in our first stop, and the car's predicting 10% before we get underway arrival at that first stop. That would be ideal, because our charging curve is best at 8% or above.
Right.
So if we really can do that, we're in good shape.
That's great. Yeah, at least good start, but yeah, we'll see how that changes with maybe 80 mile per hour speeds on this stretch, something like that.
Yeah, I think it should be. It's either 65 or 70 most of Washington, so 75 to 80. So hopefully this prediction by the car is accurate.
All right, so we have decided that Alex is taking leg number 1, and we have also decided that the visor's completely in his way. And oh boy, but we are at a 99% state of charge, and it says that we are going to arrive at Smelterville at a 4% state of charge with about 21 miles of range remaining on arrival. Now, we've got a pretty big uphill and a pretty big downhill, but you know, we're going to be sticking to the where we're going to check GPS on the road, but we think it's about 2 over. Were you thinking?
Yeah, roughly 1 or 2.
Roughly 1 or 2 over, but we're gonna and using cruise control is probably, you know, with lane centering is going to be your best bet. So we're about to pull out here, and we've got a total of 10 cars, and it feels kind of like, you know, when people expect you to win, isn't that like an extra sense of pressure?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and like I don't like that.
Yeah, it's not like we're in the old Model S where we can just like throw in the towel early and just do whatever we want.
Yeah, you know, like in the last time I did this in the F-150, I knew I was going to lose, so I just ate food. Yeah. You know, but here I feel a sense of pressure.
Right. Yeah.
So and there are some sleeper cars here that potentially could take us. So I think what we do, the theme of this trip is no mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay guys, the plan is we're all in the cars. Everyone should be optimized and good to go. We're going to turn left out of here, which is a little bit of a hard turn, but everyone's going to do it, and then we are off to I-90. It's just 2 traffic lights up there. So the Model S will be heading out first, then the G80, and down the line we go. Bring it on.
Okay, you know I'm super hyper competitive.
I do.
Go.
One pedal drive. Oh my gosh, this is happening.
Go, baby.
You never feel prepared when we leave, and then it's
no, not at all.
Just total craziness.
And here we go. So we have officially started. 2 days from now, we'll be in Boston.
Heading out. Goodbye, Starbucks. We love you. Actually, I'm really excited for this Starbucks Roast Reserve. Yeah. Should be nice. We're good. We're good on the right. Go on the right.
We are underway. Have we reset the trip odometer?
Wow, did we all just perfectly line up?
That's crazy.
That's actually very surprising.
I like the Tesla going for the, we should also.
Already.
Yeah, we should also get up there in the lead.
Go on the left, go on the left.
Give it a chill mode, by the way.
Chill, acceleration. Oh yeah, that costs us dearly.
Yeah.
Go right.
Holy smokes, this is happening.
So we are in the lowest range car, which means we get to pull out first. Of course, the rated range when this car was new was 265 miles. It's right at about 90% capacity now, so it's around 230-ish fully charged is what the rated range shows.
Which is still amazing after 12 years, right?
Yeah, it's still in pretty good shape for a nearly 12-year-old car.
How you doing back there?
Perfect. Got a great view. It's nice to be in first place for a minute.
Yeah, we're cherish this moment. Yeah.
One thing that we did agree on is just a pretty gentle, easy on the way out of Seattle, so we're not really racing at this point.
Yeah, here we go. Making moves already.
Let's see, Model 3's already coming up and passing people.
Excellent. Oh, excellent. This should be interesting.
Oh, the i7's going for the race.
By efficient as possible, I mean up to 40 miles an hour as quickly as possible.
Oh,
burning the juice.
Burning the juice. That's okay. They have a huge battery. They can handle it. Yeah. We have to be super conservative.
Yeah.
Taycan's ripping it already.
So the rules are 10 miles per hour over the speed limit, maximum 85 miles an hour.
They're playing dirty. They told us not to pass, not to try to race out of here, and guess what they're doing?
We're going in for the pass already. Oh, nice.
Yay.
See you later. We're in the lead. The i7's winning, maybe for the last time.
Wow.
Well, he just flew past us.
Yeah, that we need everyone to hit as many lights as possible, but we are in the lead right now in the i7. Hell yes.
There they go. You want to pass them so badly. Ooh, good start. 1.9 miles per kilowatt hour.
And this is it. This is where we pull onto I-90. One right turn, and let's see, I-90 south or north? It says east. It doesn't go south or north.
Do you think the 85 can gap the i7?
East 90, that's where it starts, right there.
Right there.
Amazing.
That's our highway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have anybody behind us?
No, we've got the old Model S right here, though.
Hello. Cameras look at each other.
Well, we don't necessarily need to race them to the charger since they're using superchargers. It's the Taycan I'm worried about, because they're going to want the 350 kilowatt station, but we also need the 350 to get 500 amps to get our 200 kilowatts. And if we can block them from charging quickly by getting to the charger first, then we're good. The problem is if it really does come down that close, we have to back in and they can just nose in.
Oh, true,
and
true.
So, all right, should we use launch control? No. We're going to efficiently get up to speed. Great, we're up.
It's fast.
25 is just the recommended.
Of course, here in the old Model S, we have no lane keeping and no active cruise control.
We're the only ones doing actual work this trip. Everyone else is using ADAS. We're driving.
Okay, when does the speed limit go faster? Oh boy.
Oh, no.
There's no higher speed limit. It is just 50. There's an Atlas absolutely smashing us right now. Hell yeah. We're gonna pass the Model 3. Oh yeah. All right, I think we're doing pretty good. The EQS, they cheated off the line, did they not, William?
Yeah. Too fast.
And if you look this way here, you'll see we're coming out. Oh, that's beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
What a view. Take a look around.
Awesome, huh?
William's from Norway. He's like, this looks like ass. What are we talking about?
Yeah, to be honest.
To be honest. You guys could do better.
I'm sure there will be some amazing views very soon.
So this is what we have to do. We have Assisted Driving Plus, which is hands-free in the i7. As long as these things are green, I don't have to touch the wheel. We have augmented reality driver assistance here as well. And I'm gonna select what massage we want to go for. So I think I'm gonna go for the whole body activation.
and I've got 30 minutes of this before I can choose another option.
I'm ready to sweat if needed.
Yeah, if we need it, we're going to. It's all for the cause.
Guys, there's seriously so much room back here, like, I feel like I can barely hear you guys.
We'll have to shout.
We'll have to yell. Okay, so Ryan's back there. Oh, I see the Lucid. But we did get passed by 2 vehicles.
Oh, that's... Why is he passing us?
Speed limit 60.
If he passes, Kyle.
I mean, we do qualify for the HOV lane.
Yeah.
Is 3 more than 2? Welcome to Maths with Genesis. Oh, that's Jordan and Andreas. I keep trying to think of colorful commentary to make, but nothing's happened yet. Without hitting some traffic. Still not out of Seattle area yet. The old Tesla.
We started out with 315 miles of range. We're down to 303, but the trip odometers, we've gone 7 miles. So, yeah.
Good. Good start.
Not very high accuracy here with this this gasometer.
Oh, we're getting... Nope, that dropped. Never mind. I was going to say we're getting 3.5 miles per kilowatt, but it's 3.2 now.
And now we're at 2.7.
We are in the lead by about an inch. Oh, look at that. We're dialing in the GPS speed calibrations right now, but we are ahead in the I-7, beating the Taycan. Let's just end the race right here. We beat the Taycan.
Perfectly matching speeds, so neither of us is cheating.
I have good news. I have to pee already. I thought it was a dehydration headache. I misdiagnosed.
9 miles in.
Well, I'm glad I made that run.
And you chose away before we left.
No. I am. You're road tripping with a 5-year-old child.
How do I turn on the massaging feature? So
there's a button.
Yeah, I can't find the button.
No. Feel bad for your wife.
Don't have one anymore.
Oh.
Maybe we all know why.
Jordan, I dare you to put that in.
So, we are on I-90, and we are the lead of the pack. And our first stop will be in Spokane, Washington. 275 miles. Or 4 hours. Quite a drive, but isn't Washington beautiful? And we have already improved our estimated arrival percentage, because it said we were going to be at 12%, and now we're at 14%. So, will it recalculate the next charging?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
I think based on my experience, it does on a continuous basis kind of adjust and optimize it. So, because there could also be a traffic congestions, traffic incidents,
all of those.
Okay. Some chargers could be fully occupied.
Right.
The car could, for some reason, need more energy than it assumes it will. So it does always continuously this improvement, and you will see that at some point it will likely suggest maybe another charging stop.
Massaging seat activated. How does your butt feel?
Well, I'm clouds. Oh yeah, whole body. Ooh yeah.
William, we just need this red car on the dash at all times. It means we're following for the optimum range. It's just an indication to help you extend the range of your car. Nothing to do with safety related items.
Amazing.
Oh no.
All right, GPS verification time, 80, 79, 79, 79. It's like half a mile an hour slow, so we're good.
The Mercedes sped ahead. Not sure what they're doing up there. Yeah, my dad's phone is about to die for tracking, but look at the updating time on this. We've never tried this app before, but we can really see what's going on here. So we're leading the non-cheating pack at the moment. We've been perfect with our speed limits. We've just been
absolutely
knifing through traffic.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. So I don't think anyone can optimize as well as we just did through there.
All right, we're 25 miles in, I think. 194 miles remaining, and the range estimate has dropped, but it's not as much as I thought it was going to drop by. It says there's 279 miles of estimated range left. We'll see if this adjusts. We've been gaining elevation, and we're still at 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. That's not awful. Been in a lot of traffic, though.
Turns out we're good, too. My adaptive cruise just keeps slowing down, so I just have to keep on the throttle.
Yeah, same here. This is a really annoying system so far.
And my car keeps trying to auto lane change when I don't want it to either.
Notice some erratic behavior.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so what state of charge are y'all at?
89% now.
Okay, we're at 83.
Okay, well, so we're doing well over here.
Yeah. I think Taycan certainly got way more range than this car with the same size, actually less battery. Because this is 105-ish and maybe about 100 usable, I think. And you're 97 usable.
I think we should actually stay in Seattle. Or maybe just this mountainy area. Where'd all the other cars go? Oh, there's the old S up there.
The TLS is behind us.
The lane keeping on this isn't the best, is it?
No.
It's a little bit ponderous.
That's the reaction time of what a drunk driver would have. So, yeah, it's not
It tends to lane hug too, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it just bounces back and forth.
It's comfortable though.
It is.
How's the back seat back there?
As long as I stay focused, like sitting straight ahead, it's good, but I tend to lean a lot so I can see what's going on. Not so good, but get a good side bolstering for those hard turns.
In the back seat?
Yeah. It kind of hugs you a little bit.
My seat's okay. I'm kind of squished forward so Dominic can have any semblance of room. Your seat's pretty good, isn't it?
And mine is still massaging too, so.
Nice. I think that goes on indefinitely, and the Lucid only lasts 20 minutes.
Ooh.
So, this is a better car than the Lucid, obviously. Also, this really annoys me. Numerical state of charge readout is not available in the gauge cluster. You have to go to this menu to see it. It's just this stupid little bar graph over here. That's the only readout you have for state of charge.
Yeah.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Put this in the driver's display.
So we left with 315 miles of range. We're now down to 261. So that is 54. And the trip odometer is 39.3.
Cool.
So
it is dropping.
It's yeah, it was off. The gasometer was definitely off.
As to be expected.
Yes.
We're averaging 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour so far in this trip. Not great, but we're going uphill and at certain speeds.
It's going for
Not today, old S. To be clear, I'm not. What are you doing? No, stay back there, you jerk.
We're going back.
Take off their front end. Cut them off.
William, let's hope the efficiency doesn't stay at 1.9 the whole way.
Doesn't look good.
Yeah, but we are climbing steep grades at the moment, but we cannot have 1.9 miles per kilowatt hour this whole way. What I will say though is the Taycan always looks incredible going down the road, and those guys have significantly more range than we do.
Yes,
yeah.
they do.
And Chris, the backseat check-in, now that we're about 45 minutes into the drive.
Very comfortable. I love it.
Lovely.
Yeah,
All right.
I got the massage on.
Take a look at this view, by the way. Holy smokes. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we gotta keep not getting away from the Taycan. The BMW slows down for corners on the cruise control. We gotta turn all that off. We need it to stay at this speed.
Look at this scenery. Forget about the stupid race. Oh, the actor is passing us, I guess, whatever. Look at the mountain.
So have you been knifing through traffic?
Yeah, Alex he's when he takes a lane, he takes a lane.
Good. We've been at tire squeal, we've hit hard brakes, we've been a couple inches off a couple trucks. Drew and I have been knifing it through. So,
really?
Oh, it's been a full-on race. And we have pissed off absolutely everyone around us because we drive aggressively, but then you can't accelerate. And the BMW keeps doing auto lane changes.
So normally, if you drive like that, you leave the guy, but now you're staying next to him and looking up in his window.
Right. I mean, it happens every one of these. It's so funny. It's like drive incredibly aggressively, but then never accelerate. I don't know what the Mercedes did, but they're ahead.
We're just making sure our speed is accurate. That GPS speedometer here on the iPad, it's got cellular, so it's working. We're at 75, it's reading 75 here. So between 74 and 75, I think we're right on the edge there. Should be pretty good on our cruise control, thankfully.
There's literally no tire noise.
Yeah, absolutely
nothing.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
All right, so we are about 65 miles into the trip, just past Snoqualmie Basin. Kind of a cool place if you're ever in Seattle, you want to do some night skiing. But in the meantime, we're in a Lucid Air. We are still targeting Smelterville as our first stop. Now, when we got in the car, it said that we would be arriving with around a 4% state of charge, roughly 20, I believe it was 27 miles.
Something like that.
And we are absolutely by the book doing 10 over. We have noticed that the indicated speedometer or the indicated speed limit in the Lucid's dash is not something you should rely on. It's probably looking at the signs and showing that, and if it misses a sign. So there were a couple of times when we were doing, we should have been doing 10 over and the speed limit was higher than we thought. So we're keeping Waze up now to be a little bit more scientific. We were relying on the car, but we got smart for that. Now, since then, by the way, the views through this valley are phenomenal.
Yeah.
But since then, we've actually gained a little bit of range through the up and down in the regen, and just keeping the speeds down. So we'll arrive with roughly 46 per miles.
Yeah, but even as you started shooting this video, it's been jumping around. It's definitely increasing at this point, but we haven't encountered any big hills going up or down yet, so not sure what we'll hit next.
Right.
So I think we're going to make it to Smelterville no problem, but how much juice we'll have when we get there is very much TBD.
And now, tell me a little bit, Alex, about your experience so far with the driving itself. Are you driving the car, or are you relying on the lane centering?
It's a bit of both. So I had it on highway assist initially, but that seems to require so much torque on the steering wheel that it was turning into more of a bother than anything. So I set it just as simple adaptive cruise control. So I'm doing all the manual steering myself, which is quite nice because this thing does steer very nicely.
Yeah.
And it still has lane departure, so if I do start to nudge against the line, it'll sort of push me back into place.
Right.
So this is a setting I like so far. One thing I did just change is going from the high regen to the low regen, because I am running adaptive cruise control, for 90% of this, and I found in those instances where I am taking adaptive cruise off, the speed drops pretty abruptly. So I think now, that I'm ready to catch it out with the accelerator, it's just going to coast a little bit more.
I see. Okay.
I don't think that's going to do too much for our efficiency, but it's just going to help maintain speed such that I don't actually have to press the accelerator
help
any
with the
more than we want
smoothness,
to.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And actually, even that was a maneuver, one of the first maneuvers I've done since we made that change, and it definitely was nicer. So I think that's the mode for now, at least. You know, once we get into long stretches in the middle of the country, probably having that lane keep assist will be, or the steering assist will be useful.
We are the first ones to stop because someone has to pee, but that's all right. We're just gonna get gas. We are at what, like 80% fuel capacity.
Yeah, we're gonna top it off.
Yeah,
I'm trying to shed a little weight.
Yeah,
Get better economy.
you know, all the weight we need. No, I just it doesn't really matter for us to keep going if someone has to pee, because they're going to be stopped for 15 minutes longer than us anyway. So we can grab some snacks, fuel up, and then we might be able to.
My morning monster, so I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I could go for some more coffee too. So
We got your espresso. Look at that.
yeah, I think I'll just get a Red Bull actually. All right, so we stopped longer than we really needed to, but I think everyone went to the bathroom. We grabbed some snacks, something to drink, and we are good to do, 300 miles maybe right now?
The gas gauge is slowly creeping up, but it is completely full again.
Oh, there we go. Look at that, how easy that was.
It only took us, I mean, honestly, the fueling, very short. Very short.
Yeah, well, what is that, 500 kilowatts?
The first stop in the I-7 is going to be in about 2 hours and 56 minutes. We're going all the way to Spokane, which is 208 miles away, and we have 65%. The car estimates 201 miles remaining given the route conditions. So when you see this little symbol next to the sign, it means it's factoring in topography, and BMW is usually pretty accurate. But we know there's a couple kilowatt hour buffer below zero, at least on I-4 and IX. And because I said the name of the car, it's thinking I'm talking to it. We gotta shut that off. But I think we have 7 miles below zero we can go. We're not going to drop speed right now unless it looks like we get more than 10 miles off below zero. We're just gonna stay on it, keep with the cars. The Model S is right behind us if you look, and we have the Taycan just in front of us. So it's really important that we try to stay on everyone at the moment, and our efficiency. I've programmed this gesture, guys. Watch this. So there's gesture control in the BMW. You can turn up and down the volume with your hands, but I've programmed this one to pull up our efficiency menu. So we're 2.2 miles per kilowatt hour, which is not great, but we are now at 2,100 feet of elevation. And we're just trying to draft when we can, be efficient when we can, but also make moves when we have to. So, yeah, there goes Drew making moves, getting right back up to speed, and we're gonna just continue to do our thing. So we are off to Spokane in the I-7. I'm gonna make this car get there one way or another.
This says to stop at this EA charger and charge to 95% and then go to Butte. But we don't think that's a good idea, because charge it at 95% is going to take a long time for everyone. So we're going to stop at an EA charger in Spokane that's a little closer and charge up so that we can get to an EA station in Missoula, Montana, and then hopscotch from there. So we won't go to 95% because that's going to be slow. And then see where we are. But we're still in the lead. And so at the moment, we'll have our choice of chargers, but we know the Lucid's going to get ahead of us. Yeah. And there's nothing we can do about that. But everybody else is going to be fighting us for CCS, and so we don't want to do that. So that's our current strategy. All right. And when we stop, we'll figure it out. Well, there we go. See you guys in Spokane.
William, BMW put all this really nice looking crystal all over this car, but the problem is you just get blinded from the sun every time it hits it. So I have to start covering up stuff so that we don't just go blind from the light. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's the worst flaw of this car by far.
Yeah, I agree. And Lucid has it has an issue, but it's not as bad as this. But you would think BMW would have never allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I don't know what happened.
So I have our trusty location tracking here in, I want to say Command Central is the Model 3.
Indeed.
That's what we're playing as, because I have the biggest screen for, we're using Live 360 for location tracking. Not a perfect solution, honestly, so I'm talking with Live 360's developers to maybe work out something better for the next time, because they don't even have an iPad app. Anyways, I digress.
here's kind of what we're looking at. This is not perfectly accurate location sharing, but it's pretty close. We have the Mercedes out in front. We've done almost 100 miles. This is considered like a 100-mile check-in. Mercedes out in front. Taycan and BMW and Plaid are shortly behind them. We are slightly behind them. Then we have the Ioniq 6, which we passed just a little bit ago. The old Tesla and the Genesis are further behind us. Lucid's way back there. They must have had some traffic or something getting out of Seattle. And the Acura is already stopped. They stopped back here in, not sure exactly where, but some small town area back there. Yeah, I guess bathroom break? I don't know. Typical road trippers over there. Whereas I think we're paving the way for the futurists and the EVs, which means holding it. So it's a pretty fun app, pretty interesting. It's not, again, perfectly accurate because, I mean, I think to do that you have to have actually special tools, but for checking on people's, you know, location as well as speed, this is pretty sweet. So roughly, like right now, the beginning of the race, again, only 100 miles in, we should not be seeing much of a spread. But the first stops are going to be happening. Obviously, the Acura already stopped. Old Tesla should be next. We'll see where they stop, maybe even somewhere near Ellensburg. They only really have a short-ish range, but they should have a decent range for the very first stretch, just like everyone else. But we'll see. We'll see what people's strategies are, whether they charge deeply or just do quick, short charges. Depends on the car, depends on the curve, depends on a lot of things. We are looking here in the Model 3 to try to stretch it to, I think, Spokane or somewhere near there. We could maybe even go to Idaho, maybe. But at these speeds, I'm not sure if that will exactly work. So we'll find out. We'll see. Right now we're tracking with 12% arrival at the first stop we were eyeing, which actually went up from 5% initially. So it's looking promising that we can go the extra 24 miles past this to the next charger, which is still basically the last one in Washington, which is still pretty cool. In the Model 3, 65% state of charge. I know we have slightly more state of charge than the Model S at any given moment, which is pretty fascinating. The magical efficiency of this thing, almost 4 miles per kilowatt hour, roughly 3.5 or so right now, high threes. Not too shabby. How are you feeling?
There's no food here, so I'm kind of sad, but no, I'm good.
And a backseat review, Adam?
Great. Comfortable.
Not quite the i7, but really not bad, honestly.
Great car. Great car. Love it.
Great car.
William seeing America really for the first time.
Yeah, this is insane. This is more insane than the mountains in the last one.
And to us, this is just boring. This is what it's going to look like for the rest of the whole drive.
Yeah, I'll get bored of it.
We seem to have left Washington and entered Kansas. I'm not sure where that transition happened. Thorpe Fruit! Want to stop at Thorpe Fruit, an antique mall? Apples! Specialty Foods wine! Got about a little less than an hour till our first charging stop in Moses Lake. And we are looking to arrive at 8%. So pretty big window there.
All right, so we've recalculated and we have a new strategy, which is to skip Spokane, where we were gonna stop with like 17% charge and go to the next EA station in Smelterville, Idaho. And at the moment, the car says 4%, which is better than it was a minute ago when it said 3%. This is where we gotta seize the opportunity. See how we do. Currently, 126 miles in, we are at 331 watt hours per mile, so exactly 3 miles per kilowatt hour.
All right, we got him. Got him. Nice.
We're well into our first leg here, and we've decided to extend. We were going to stop at Moses Lake, but we were going to get there with over 30%, so we can pretty easily make it to Sprague. And in the meantime, we had the Model 3, which was immediately behind us, now immediately in front of us. Just passing some traffic. Also, the BMW's right in front of us, so just, we're getting back and forth.
All right, so new developments. So we say 4% to get to our next destination. And there's a little indicator over here on the screen that says destination reachable. And behind, oh, you can't see it. Behind us, there we go. Behind that car back there is the Porsche, which is going to have to stop before they are going to catch up right on us now, because we are having to slow down for truck v truck passing on the downhill. Ridiculous. Oh, this is the this is the merge. Okay, so everyone is going to bunch up now because there's a bridge. Caution. Here.
In a quarter of a mile, traffic event ahead.
There's a traffic event, so this will buy us, I think, a little bit of rain. Oh, they're right behind us. There they are.
Ah, they gotta pass the semi. Fuck!
Interesting. Gotta get over.
So yeah, just coming into some traffic here. We could probably go windows down. We have no climate control on because we're trying to stretch it. It's 149 miles and this is now down to 137. I don't know, William. We may have to bail out.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see. We have like 100 miles, roughly 90 miles till that happens. But we chose the right lane because the Model 3 is now all the way back there. And we are still just passing cars in this one. We're now, I think, third place. Mercedes is up, EQS is up, and the Taycan is just around here. We got held up with an RV that cut us off, and then Drew just pulled away.
We just got passed by the old Model S. That is not a good sign. About 132 miles into this thing here.
Very sad.
Yeah, not a good look. We got the Genesis behind us too, and we're trying to hypermile this thing to Spokane so we can get this. We got the climate off.
How are you guys feeling? Impressions of the EQS so far? It's fabulous. I have a pillow.
Yes.
And massage.
Irish pillow. Very nice.
I have two pillows. So
two pillows.
Three pillows.
I have three.
You have three, because you have a head pillow and then you have two throw pillows.
All right, guys, a little bit of construction here at Vantage Hunsinger Road, somewhere in Washington State. And it's interesting how the topography changed from mountainous to what looks like prairies with hills. But looky here, the Genesis G80. In front of that is the Ioniq 6. And then in front of that's the 2013 85. And so we're bunched up here, which is great.
First time we've seen any of our
First time we've seen anyone,
since the start.
yeah.
So we're still in this thing for
We're
sure.
still in this thing for sure.
Jordan?
We've broken into the snacks.
Pretty much. End of the race.
Just hit 4.0 miles per kilowatt hour, 135 miles in. Beautiful views.
So we are on basically open highway, but we haven't passed the higher speed limit yet until this sign right here. So we're basically going to see the Plaid probably rip away, and I'm going to be somewhat conservational, somewhat conservative in here. And there they go, speed limit 70, foot down. So we can now get up to 80.
So there's 80 miles to go. We have projected 100, I can barely read it, 145 miles of range. We're gonna get there with plenty of buffer. But the thing about this car is, it charges faster the higher state of charge you are to a point. So it will actually behoove us to arrive at like 20-30% rather than dead like some of the other cars.
Yeah. True. EV9's like that, I believe, too.
Yeah. All the VGMP cars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, same with this Porsche 911 looking weirdo up here.
You know, we want to try and push it as far as possible, especially on this first leg. And then what we should do is think about the next station at some point here. to identify how deep into the pack we want to charge. Like, what are we going to charge to?
Yeah.
So let's put a little energy into that, and we will rejoin you in a bit. The GV80, they're still right in front of us, and the Ioniq 6. So we've got 4 of the 10 cars within, I don't know, 500 yards of each other right now. 145 miles into the trip.
We're going for Spokane. We made an audible, and we're going to go to the closer EA station at the Fred Meyer. More 350 kilowatt options, less total chargers, more high power chargers. We want to take advantage of that. Car's telling us 169 with 132 to go, but we're going to be on a steady elevation climb for the next 130 miles, pretty much.
That number's going to drop.
Yeah.
That we're going to watch that come closer and closer. It's going to be very nerve-wracking.
And the one bailout that we have is too close to want to stop. There's a 350 that's limited, and then there's only 3 other stations operable, so not an ideal stop there.
Just stopped to take a leak real quick. That's a nice scenic overlook. We have all the time in the world.
Okay, so we are doing Post Falls, Idaho to an EVgo as our current new plan. And the Porsche is still behind us. We think they will have to cut off earlier than us because their range is lower than us, but we'll see.
In the Model 3, we are looking at Idaho as our first stop now, which has changed twice. Like, we were like, oh, we can make it to Spokane, actually. And now we're like, wait, we can maybe make it to Idaho. Coeur d'Alene, whatever you say. It says stay below 70, which we're not doing, clearly. So we're curious to see if this state charge goes up or if this banner disappears, because the car just keeps realizing it's more efficient than it is. We are literally doing 4 miles per kilowatt hour right now, which is crazy. 250 watt hours per mile. Yeah, we are a solid like 8% more battery than the Model S.
Yep.
The Lucid is definitely, crazy. It's 60% or so, 59 or something right now.
Yeah, 6%. We've been riding for 2.5 hours almost.
Yep.
That's insane.
That's insane. We're still only halfway to the next spot.
In the Model S Plaid, we've actually, if you take a look, changed our speed into kilometers per hour. We actually got a call from Kyle in the i7. He said it seemed like we were going a little bit faster than him, between like high 80s to low 81 miles per hour. And if we were to drop it by 1 mile an hour, then we'd be a little bit too slow. But switching it to kilometers per hour was a good solution and allows us to get right at 80 miles an hour. Still planning on finishing this leg at Sprague for a quick top-up.
Welcome to Moses Lake, Washington. Why are we talking about Moses Lake, Washington? Well, we are in an electric BMW, and electric BMW I, that division, has huge ties to Moses Lake, Washington, because this is where all of the carbon fiber from the CFRP, from the carbon fiber reinforced polymer of the BMW i3 came from. They would actually build the body shells here, is my understanding, and then ship them to Germany for series production. It was also a joint venture, I believe, with Boeing for the same carbon used in the 787, which is really cool. We also have a problem, which is I don't think we can make it to Spokane. We would die, like they're even considering we have maybe a couple kilowatt hours of buffer, we would die before getting there. So we could either drop speed and go. The other option is we can charge here, skip Spokane, and then go to the next one, which I think might be our best option. What do you think, William?
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Yeah.
Do a bailout and then
the
skip.
i7 actually charges better the deeper into the pack we get until we reach the taper point, because it does 500 amps at pack voltage. So we don't necessarily want to run it all the way to zero. If we could get to Spokane and do a deep charge, that would be the jam. That would be awesome. But it's not worth dropping speed for yet this early. And we're still going to get to this station at 10%, 15%, somewhere around there, which is pretty good for the first
I think that's pretty good for the i7, actually.
Yeah, especially because we don't, it's not like we charged to the perfect amount. We just all left full. And so after this, then we can dial in the car and get to know it. So we always try and push it as far away as we can without dropping speed on the first stretch. And I think we are not going to make Spokane. We've been trying. We have like an 11-mile delta at best, and then sometimes it goes up to 20 miles. and it's been kind of just holding roughly that consistently, so I don't think that's possible.
How do you think charging is going to be? I think we'll probably peak maybe around 120 kilowatts, something like that. So we're right at about 316 watt hours per mile and 176, little over 176 miles for this leg.
All right, not too bad, with about 11% left in the tank, or the pack.
Yeah, I think we're right on the edge of 10 and 11%.
Yeah. First charge stop. Let's get her plugged in.
Magic dock.
What is a magic dock, huh?
Oh, nice. If only we could utilize its speeds.
All right, 120. Yeah, shot up to 125 for just a second.
All right, we set the destination in the built-in nav that is just horrendous to use. And supposedly that will enable battery preconditioning. What's upsetting is that I can either have the built-in nav going, or I can have Android Auto's nav going, and now they're both going at the same time. No, it canceled the Android Auto route. So that's cool. Love that. Now how do I get the freaking map to show up? Hyundai, just scrap all of this and start over.
All right, we are driving through Moses Lake, as is pretty much everyone else, as you can tell by this graph, and the old Model S has just left the chat. They are taking off to their first charging stop, which is right here in Moses Lake. This is a little bit, tiny bit behind, but basically, the order hasn't really changed much. We still have the Taycan, the Plaid, the i7 up ahead of us, the EQS, all the Germans in the Plaid, and then we also have the Lucid and things behind us, and the Acura is way back here because they stopped early. At this time of the Model S pulling off, we have 41% state of charge, still right about 4 miles per kilowatt hour.
Excuse me.
Andreas is already really plowed into the snacks. We keep seeing PT Cruisers out here in the middle of nowhere. Awesome to see that. And this banner is still here. This has dropped from 3 to 2%, so we'll have to see if we have to drop out in Spokane or if we can push on to beyond the border of Idaho. In the meantime, welcome to Moses Lake.
Yep, we are right now sitting at 33%.
Yeah, and just as a little bit of context, the old Model S just pulled off and they were at 10% state of charge. I'm actually pretty surprised. That's pretty impressive and not that far off this car, which is a decade newer almost.
We are currently at 42% state of charge, maintaining 80 miles an hour here, 10 over the speed limit.
Efficiency just ticked up too to 3.9.
3.9, a little over 170 miles so far. We got, how far do we got to go? We have 107 miles left to get to the Fred Meyer EA where we're gonna go. So we're feeling pretty good.
The Model S is pulling off and we are at 32% state of charge. And if I look at our efficiency, 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour, 178 miles in, and we have regened a total of 7.4 kilowatt hours. Dang, look at the Model S charging, 118 kilowatts at 11%. It was just doing 125. That is maybe even better charging than I've seen during my whole time with that car. That car typically tapers off of 100 kilowatts at like 14 to 17% depending on ambient temperatures. It likes to be warm outside. Thankfully it's 75 degrees out, so they're getting a monster charging session for the old Model S right now. But they're already stopped, and we have decided to put in Ritzville. We will arrive at 15% state of charge. The BMW should automatically precondition the battery pack for the charging session.
All right, at Moses Lake, we're at 36% and a projected 101 miles of range. And we've got
40.8 miles to our destination.
40.8. All right. What's our efficiency so far?
Average is 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour.
Over 179 miles.
Yep.
Not great, but also not terrible.
Yeah, for the speed. And
yeah, that's true.
This thing is a boat.
What'd you say we gained? Like 3,000 feet of elevation?
I believe so. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought some of our main competition this trip was going to be the EQS. That thing is so much more efficient than this car and has a bigger battery. They're at over 45% state of charge, and we just dipped to 29 in the i7. is almost worth having the car being so ugly. Almost worth it.
Okay, an update. We have gone 185 miles, 314 watt hours per mile, which is about 3.17 miles per kilowatt hour. We've gone 185 miles, 173 to go, so we're halfway to running ourselves out. However, we are only going 114 miles to our charging destination in Post Falls, Idaho. Have you ever been to Idaho?
I've never been to Idaho.
Have you ever been to Idaho?
I've never been to Idaho.
I have been to Idaho, and it's you know, famous potatoes.
All right, Shane, let's do a quick update here. How far have we gone on the trip so far?
So we have
202.4 miles. Yeah.
202.4. And how far are we away from Smellyville or whatever it's called?
144 miles.
144.
Yes.
Okay. And our efficiency right now is 3.5. 3.4. Interesting. I wonder if it's getting windier out here in the plains. 3.4 miles per kilowatt hour. Okay. And Shane, do me a quick favor. Can you multiply 3.4 times 118, which is the total capacity of this battery pack? What's that number?
118.
Yeah.
So that's 401.2.
401.2. Okay, so even though this car, everyone talks about, wow, this has got a 500 and whatever 16 mile EPA rated range, and Kyle at a constant 70 miles an hour was able to do 510 miles. The way we've been driving, which is a little bit up, a little bit down, this is only a 4, and when I say only, we're doing 10 over the speed limit. So it's only going to get us 400, just over 400 miles. We need to jump into Smelterville. Next thought though, and we can think about this now. We don't have to wait until we get to Smelterville. Is what's our next move? Because what we want to make sure of is that we don't overcharge.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And so we want to know at what state of charge we're going to be leaving Smelterville in, and what we should do. I want to rely on the buffer that we know is in this car to a certain extent, but we want to try and arrive as close to zero as possible, but leaving a little bit of buffer, right? Just because we don't have that many bailouts in these big distance chargers, like we do on 95 between Maryland and Delaware, or Maryland and Boston. It's you can make mistakes. There's no room for error out here.
So I think we're only going to add about another 8% or so and just go to Sprague.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we have to charge to like 60% to get to Spokane. It'll be down to like 45 kilowatts if you want to charge to 60.
Yeah, a bunch of small splash and goes might be more with the charging curve of this guy over here.
Hello and welcome to Ritzville. This is where we will be exiting to the Electrify America charging station. One 350 kilowatt stall is currently available. The other one is in use. Unfortunately, the one that says it's derated is in use. So we're gonna risk it and try and get onto the high power charging, because I've seen so many times where they say they're derated and it's not true. That's not to say it's 100% not going to be derated. So we're pulling off. The Model 3 is going past right over here. We will probably not see these guys again for a long time. And our first charging stop, 14%. We are the least efficient car here. Oh, there it is, under canopy. The 350s are usually in the middle, so the Mach-E is on one, of course, and we're taking the other one. Okay.
Number 2.
Great. So let's get this thing in reverse, Terry.
So we're getting passed by the Lucid, but we're pulling off, I think, to charge our first charge.
Yeah.
All right.
We are at 43 miles of range remaining, and SOC is 18%.
I will pull up Electrify America. Ritzville.
I thought I had plug and charge set up on this car, but I don't. So, and of course I have to sign into my account. And we're on charger number 2. So let's open up the port flap. It says it has reduced power. What do we think? Gosh,
We try.
Swipe.
Oh, there's the Genesis.
Oh no, really? Are they pulling over or no?
They're right in.
Oh, they're here.
All right.
I can't get out of my car.
Swipe to charge.
Here we go. Oh, yeah.
It's ready. Slap it. Okay.
Okay. Plugged in. Initiating. I-7 was already here. There's a Mach-E sitting here plugged in. Charging started, yes. It tells us with an audible voice that charging has started. That's amazing. Before it even pops up on the screen. That is great to know. And welcome, Robert.
Hey, that's me. I'm Robert.
We maxed out at 180, so that's not too bad. 167.
Ours just said charging needed to reach destination. It's dropped down to 1%. So we may be we may be falling off the Spokane Valley area. But the Ioniq and the Lucid are continuing on. Tesla Plaid right up ahead of us, but they will not make it as far as us because we have consistently more battery. EQS and Taycan, though, they should make it close to where we are going, I think. Not the not this one, but the actual, now saying stay below 60. Yeah. Does it not know we're racing? So we are probably all heading to this Spokane Valley, Liberty Lake area, is my theory. We'll see if anything changes with some of this elevation in here, wind, etc. There's a few things, but I'm guessing Liberty Lake for us, which would put us in the front briefly because the Tesla Supercharger is a little bit further past Electrify America. And we'll see what the Electrify America situations are, because there's two different Electrify Americas here. The further one has only one working 350, I think, whereas the closer one has a lot better options. So we'll see how far they decide to stretch it. Hopefully they're doing their homework. I'm sure they are. We're all professionals, but this will be very interesting. So Genesis and BMW charging away. Looking back, let's see where the Acura is further back, and the old Tesla is back on the road now. They have charged.
It doesn't even know we plugged in. Things are not going well on the first stop. In.
Come on, baby.
You guys are started charging already.
Wow.
This doesn't even know we've plugged in. Okay. Unlock BMW. Can you grab that cable, plug her in?
Get it?
Yeah, take it.
Connecting the vehicle. That's what we needed.
Okay.
We are activated here on the 150 kilowatt station. So we may choose to go to Spokane.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe, depends on how it charges. But these guys are already charging the Genesis.
Yeah.
That was a poor performance. That station had no idea we even plugged into it. Wow, you guys arrived with more state of charge than we did.
We did, yeah.
What were you at when you arrived?
18%.
We were at 14. So this thing's got more range than the i7.
Yeah, this is really shocking so far.
Okay, and the charging performance? 170. So you're pretty much right at the maximum of the car. Yep. Because 350 amps, it's a little bit of a limit, but you're not far off the 185 you really could do.
Yeah.
So this is,
yeah,
you're actually fine on 150s.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
And this is why voltage matters. We're on a 150 doing 130. You're on a 150 doing 170.
Yep.
And so, you know, the Koreans know how to get this thing to charge.
They do, yeah.
And just like that, our confidence is starting to wane here. So this uphill stretch we've been on for about 27 miles here, our efficiency's dropping. I can't really see that too well.
3.8 to 3.4.
Yep. We got 23% left. We got 59 miles to go. Indicated 65 miles of range. It's dropping. We still have about 600 miles of elevation to climb.
16 kilowatt hours left in the pack.
Yeah. What's our overall trip efficiency?
3.8.
It's holding at 3.8 though.
We're pulling off here in Sprague. There's the chargers. Can you give me a quick state of charge?
We are at 11%.
Excellent. So 11%, that works out really well.
You're as quick as we can.
Yep. So the plan is just a very quick stop before we make it into Idaho. There we go.
I think the i7's pretty much good to go to get to Spokane. We hopefully can get a 350 kilowatt station there since there are 2 EA sites, and I don't mind arriving with a little bit high voltage. I think, man, we couldn't get that car plugged in and charging initially, but that's okay. It's the luck of the draw. We knew that station was derated. We didn't know it was offline, even though it says it's online.
We are charging at 136 kilowatts, and we are at 29%. Wow, 73 kilowatts at 44%. And this is because of their high voltage.
Oh, wait, we have 85 miles on the car?
Yeah, and it's 62.
Okay, we go. To stop charging on this, we have to stop here first. Chris is learning CCS lifestyle. And then you wait till this light goes. We have to wait for it to turn. There we go. Then we can remove. He's so used to Tesla, which is so fast. All right, let's roll.
So as we sat there and our voltage climbed, so has our rate of charge. We got 173 kilowatts happening right now.
From a labeled 150 kilowatt.
From a label, yeah, it says 150 clearly on the label.
Downside though, the Mercantile is completely closed. I had to walk way down there. Oh, there's a Nero EV pulling in. I had to walk way down there to go to the bathroom.
All right, in Sprague, still doing just tapered off 250 kilowatts and 28%. It says we'll get there at 0% right now. We're gonna stick around for another couple minutes so that we can get there without having to slow down for sure. And make sure that we can have air conditioning if and when we want / need it.
All right, we are in Ritzville. We've been here for about 15 minutes so far. So our strategy, well, Kyle and them in the BMW, they already took off. They're going over to Spokane. Not really sure why. They just wanted to get back on the road. Quick little dash and go. But we're getting 103 kilowatts per hour right now on this.
173.
Yeah, 173. And so we're going to continue charging at that speed because that's about the max the vehicle can take. We're going to continue charging at this speed until it starts to derate. As soon as it does, we're going to unplug and go. That way we can make the best use out of our time.
Because there's no benefit to arriving super low like Kyle wants to do in this car because the charging curve is so dang flat.
Yeah.
Got 2 minutes left on the thing to 80% and still at 173. It's like a charging machine, charging monster.
It's 174!
Oh, new record! New record!
Okay, 1 minute left. We're starting to drop off.
Oh, it's at 80%.
161.
That was,
okay.
I gotta hit stop.
Unplug.
All right.
Come on. Come on.
80%.
All right, I just woke up from my nap. We're 30 minutes out and we're planning how much we need to charge at this next stop. So Mike over here is doing some calculations.
Our next stretch, we want to try to make it from Spokane all the way through to Missoula.
How far is that?
That's 192 miles, charger to charger. So if we can maintain our current efficiency, we need about 66%. So if we put in, say, a 5% buffer, 71, I think 71, somewhere between 71 and 75 we're out.
And if we want to have climate on, should we charge too?
Yep, that's a good point. Yeah.
We don't have it on right now. It's getting a little bit toasty in here.
It is very warm. Yes, we definitely want to run climate for the next stretch.
So 80%?
Yeah.
I don't know.
78 maybe if we want to be living on the edge. And know we can just kill it last minute if we need to.
All right, so the order is mixed up a little bit here. The BMW is back on the road. Genesis is still charging, and which means they might be passed by the old Model S here shortly. They are on track to be in last place, but only briefly, because the old Model S will have to charge soon yet again. Speaking of, the Model S Plaid already got off the highway and already charged and already back on the highway again. Very short charge, I guess. I can see that they're low, not low, but like 33%. So they're supposed to charge only to like 40 or something. And we are cruising up here. Lucid and Ioniq 6 are still behind us, but the Mercedes and Porsche are still ahead. So, slight mix-ups in the orders because some people have already charged, already jumped back on the road. I think BMW is just trying to get ahead of the Acura, which is hilarious. But the Acura should definitely catch up at some point. But how soon will they? Still cruising here just under 4 miles per kilowatt hour. The most efficient car of the bunch. And using our first initial range to its full extent.
Now we're 10 minutes out from our charging stop in the old Model S. We're trying the splash and go approach. So small little charging spurts between stops just maximize our very, very, very good charging curve. So we'll be stopping there in about 10 minutes.
All right, we have been going for 4 hours, 317 watt hours per mile, which is a little better than 3 point something miles per kilowatt hour. 23% left. We are 40 miles to our EVgo. It's an Ultium GM charging station at a Flying J, which is the perfect place to stop for 41 minutes to charge from 14 to 89% and then continue on to Butte, Montana.
William, shit just got real. We were on the phone with our buddy Winston, who lives in Spokane, and he mentioned the EVgo in Post Falls, and for some reason I totally forgot that there was an EVgo in Post Falls, Idaho. And we charged up, we thought we charged a little bit too much at this station, but it turns out we can make it at 1%. And it's 2 350 kilowatt stations. Now we know the Mercedes is going there now.
Yep.
But there's 2 open. I don't know who else is going there, but there's so 2 Delta high power units that power split to 150 kilowatts. Although they actually power split less. They do like this weird, some do 400 amps, which is great. Some do 400, 200, depending on their software version. So it's a little bit confusing. But there's a 1 unit there that has a cable down. That's the one we want, because then no one can power share.
Yeah, that's the perfect one. Yeah.
So hopefully the Mercedes is like, oh, that charger's half dead. We'll take the good one. And we can take the high power. No one's there right now, so it's an empty station. We're still 50 minutes away, but that's going to be our best bet. So we're basically going here to Post Falls. The BMW has no idea this station exists. It's crazy. We can't get the system to show it at all. So I'm just going to make sure that we still are preconditioning. Yes, we are preconditioning. And it's about all we can do. We'll arrive dead. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we get a monster charging session.
All right, we're arriving at charge stop number 2. We're having a 14 or 15%.
Yeah, it's a little high, but we have no choice.
Yep.
Yeah, we overcharged a little on the last one.
There we go.
Just fix a second. Good.
Here we are in Spokane, Washington. Up there we have the Porsche Taycan. They're in front of us now, but they are likely going to have to stop before us, and we will blow past them and stop at a later charger.
So we are 17 miles away from our planned stop in Post Bluff, Idaho, or Post Falls, Idaho, at the Pilot Flying J. The EQS is just ahead of us. We were ahead of them, but they just got around us a short bit ago while we were chatting with Kyle.
I let them by.
And Drew chose, he took pity on them because their car is so ugly.
Right.
Yeah, so we're gonna plug in there, hopefully get full power. Right now the car is saying we're gonna get 280
at this state of charge.
and the current state of charge, current battery temperature. But we're gonna be rolling in at 12%, so hopefully we'll be getting the full 300.
So right now we're not navigating to the charger, so it's not doing any sort of preconditioning, which would be cooling in this case. So we have modes to switch between, and basically range mode closes the flaps and turns off all sort of, preconditioning and cooling of the battery pack and anything like that to conserve energy. But now I've clicked us up into Sport, which should be doing some just normal cooling, and then Sport Plus is like max cooling. So we have basically the ability to manually precondition the battery pack, which we might do as we start to get a little bit closer, because if we start charging and it's a little bit too hot, then we will derate sooner and charge slower. So we'll just see how it goes from here to the charger, and then see what we want to do once we get a little closer.
Man, way too much of a buffer. All that drama for no reason.
Yeah, we got 13 miles left and had our climate off.
All right, you're plugged in. Connecting. We're on charger 1.
Sweet, 20 minutes left until 80%, so it does that math for us.
Let's see where we're at peak at. We're getting full speed. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, a little bit.
We're getting fully empowered.
Yep, it's ripping. All right.
I'm gonna leave my phone in here. You can look at it.
Our first leg, about 280 miles, a little over 5 hours with some waiting around. 3.9 efficiency was awesome with gaining all that elevation. and we're getting a good charge session right off the rip.
Well, so it says it would take 48 minutes to charge to 100%.
Yeah, I mean, we're 80s our max. We said kind of 78 to 80. We got 19 minutes.
Stupid little flap.
Nice. You're in. I think you're in.
No click though, huh?
No click.
I think that's probably where it should be. So
It's not recognizing that we're plugged in.
is it the other handle that we should try?
We'll try the other handle.
I think D was the broken one.
Yeah, I thought D was the broken one.
There we go. Nice, great.
Which side? Left?
All right, we are pulling into the EVgo here at the Flying J. We're in Post Falls, Idaho, correct? Yeah. All right, now we believe the Porsche Taycan is already here. All right, there we go. All right, and then we have Team Taycan over here.
Hello from first place in the Model 3. Just passing everyone. They have just exited that way. So for a brief glimpse at the trophy, we are seeing the Mercedes and Taycan have both exited. They're both charging right over there. We are continuing on. We are braving it to 0% arrival in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Anyways, which is also where the Model S is going. They are behind us, so that'll be really interesting to see how far we both decide to charge. It keeps saying charging needed, charging not needed. It can't decide, but either way, we know we have a buffer to play with. We're arriving at 0, not like way below. Like this will say -1, -2, etc., but it doesn't think you can make it, so that helps. And yes, that is what first place looks like.
Getting 280, 290 at 17%.
192. We should peak at 200. 18% state of charge. We've already got 3%, and this thing is now whirring away. Let's go spy on our friends over here. How's your charging session going? That volts is the magic number right there, and so they're getting 300 kilowatts. 285, already starting to taper at 30%.
No, it's back to 299.
Oh, it's backing up. All right. So yeah, voltage. Voltage makes a difference. Physics. And they already have 18 kilowatts dispensed. Kilowatt hours. So cruising along. But I will say, if you look in here, I'm pretty sure our car with pillows on the headrests is far superior to the Porsche.
So when we plugged in, we thought it was going to be a 19-minute charge to 80%, but looking at the car scanner app, our battery is pretty toasty. Battery max is 124 Fahrenheit, so it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer to 80%. It's saying another 8 minutes. We're at 71 right now, but we'll find out here in a couple of minutes what's going to happen.
All right, are you ready to unplug? It's at 77%. What's the range at?
242. I mean, that's probably.
What's up,
I think we're probably good, right?
242. Let's go. Yeah.
Now try it again.
Ready to drive. Oh.
Now again.
Come on. Time we do not have to spare. There we go.
You got the next destination in?
I got it plugged in, yep. 193 miles away.
Okay.
We are exiting for the first time in Idaho. We didn't stop once.
0%.
0% charge. We didn't stop once in Washington. We left Starbucks and we left their state behind.
Yeah.
Wow. How are you guys doing?
Great. Amazing.
I'm ready for a bathroom break. Fortunately, our handshake time for charging is instant.
Yeah.
We have traffic though. This is not great.
Oh yeah.
Dang. All right, jumping through the neighborhood. 11 spots available here. We should not have any worries about derated charging. This is really feeling good. Arriving at 0% on our first stop. Yep. Still in the lead. I don't know for how long though. This is off the highway a decent bit, which is a huge bummer.
Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah. Oh, dang. If only we had the Lightning and had to stop and charge for 45 minutes, we could get a full-on meal out of this.
So our plan for the charging stop, William and Chris, is we're hoping the Porsche will be out by the time we get there, and then we can take that stall. Chris is going to plug in the car. I will activate the EVgo session. William's going to film. That's the idea. if the Porsche is there and the Mercedes is there, we have only one option to plug in. And then we have to quickly jump to the other charger as soon as the Porsche leaves. So we get full 500 amps.
And yep, so hit, not sure if you went for the recap and all that, but hit 302 max. And how long were we here for?
12 minutes.
12 minutes, perfect. Exactly what the car said we were gonna do.
Yep.
So that's great, that's confidence inspiring.
Form at the
Oh, stupid noise.
As for everyone else, they're way up there. We don't care about them. We're comfortably in the back of the pack with the little Ioniq 6.
All right, about to plug in. Good catch by Adam. We almost plugged into a V2, which are over there. These are V3s. Wow, you were already at that. Nothing like the Lightning. All right, let's see what we ramp up with. 55 minutes remaining. All right, going to 100%.
Nice.
That's what we do, right?
Awesome. Yeah,
that's how everyone else road trips.
That's how you do it.
All right, Texas Roadhouse. No, just kidding.
So we've got the EVgo card. So we'll use this to activate the station. Chris is going to plug us in. There's the Taycan. Well, they didn't even see us.
Wow.
Blazer is sharing. We have an open stall. Okay, we are good here. Great.
Fantastic.
Great. Okay, into reverse. Got it. Sorry. There we go. Chris hasn't done much CCS yet.
My boss and I'll get that.
So we're going through pre-charge hopefully in a second. What is going on with the handshake? Are you kidding me?
It stopped blinking here.
Kyle's just arrived, and you could tell they were ripping it because there's an entire box in their front bumper. Got a Dr. Pepper box here.
Okay, that went in. The BMW's got a little bit weird of an app. Just charge the damn car. Okay, contactors are clicking, pre-charge. Anyway, we are charging, finally a good charging session in the i7. That's what we needed.
Yes.
All right, we are checking in for our next supercharger stop.
Yes, we are currently at 9% state of charge. We're a half mile from it.
Right now sitting at 291 watt-hour per mile. That was an 81-mile jog.
We are plugged in and ramping up now, so this is great. So here we are, 251 kilowatts we saw, and just another look at that. 81 miles, 290 watt hours per mile. And interestingly enough, we've got them. It's the other Model 3 that we're racing, so
we are at 62% state of charge, and we are still getting 147. It is slowly dropping, and we're gonna see if that continues. The car wants us to get to 89% to get to Butte, Montana, which is 291 miles away, but it's giving us a 10% buffer.
Okay, we are charging. Our buddy Winston met us over here at the charging station, and things are somewhat okay. 182 kilowatts instead of 200, but see these gray lines? That typically indicates when it's a charging limitation. Did the charger derate? What does it say max amps are?
475.
But maximum, so the charger doesn't think it's a limit. The BMW thinks the charger is limiting.
Wow, that's interesting, especially since this one goes to 540.
Yeah, and so I'm not sure, but we're getting almost maximum. So 184 kilowatts. As pack voltage comes up, as state of charge increases, we should see over 200.
Yeah, we need to ride this.
Yeah, this is a great charger. So thankfully that other side doesn't work.
All right, unplugging. Ready? Onwards. So we left the stop with 54% state of charge. We should get to Missoula. Plenty of buffer. In fact, we might have even overcharged a tiny bit. That was crazy. Didn't even have a 15-minute stop. It was like 13 minutes. And that'll get us another 2.5 hours down the road.
All right, 3, 2, 1, run. Let's go. I got the video, and 82%. They charged 79 kilowatt hours, $43.78. Sebastian's got the car going. Enjoy the drive.
See you later, man.
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry. It's all good. Awesome. So the EQS is heading out on a long stretch. They charged to over 80%, 82%. Car is on. They're on power, and they're they're ripping out of here. Okie dokie. This is still processing, and they're already gone. Still processing. They're already gone. I need the data. Here we go. 83%. They were here 30 minutes and did 80 kilowatt hours. Whoa. We are tapering pretty hardcore here. 140 kilowatts at 42%. Man, the EQS charge curve was way better.
Yeah, the EQS is way better.
Oh my goodness. What the heck? Okay, so we only need to charge to 65, 70%. And then we can blast the 175 miles.
Yeah. I don't know, we're getting gas next, and then we're back on the road. Taycan's ahead of us. Lucid is definitely ahead of us. I think we're third or fourth at the moment. It's 4 o'clock, but we should be arriving on Sunday at 7:30 in the morning.
And we've also, we took a scenic break, a donut break.
Yep.
To do a donut or two. And what else? I mean, we took a couple nice breaks. Rest stop break just to see this views.
Yeah. We're not in a rush here. We're going to win,
really
so it doesn't matter.
I mean, as far as we're concerned, we're going to win.
Yep.
It might not happen in reality. But.
Yeah. As long as we just need the Lucid to charge terribly, and then we'll be fine. Yeah.
It's coming.
Because the Taycan's really 5 minutes ahead of us right now. The Taycan, or the Lucid on the other hand, is probably like 25 minutes ahead of us right now. But they also haven't stopped the charge yet, so...
Oh, I thought they took a charge stop. All right, so we're doing good.
We're we're just like slowly falling behind, but it's whatever.
All right, we're gonna see if this charger charges quickly. We're not trying to make this charging stop too long, obviously, because they want to know how long it takes us. Good call, good call. F1 pit stop.
Efficiency.
All right, run. Stopped.
Oh, come on. Oh no, we're having infrastructure issues.
We actually are. This is stuck.
And he left.
Charging speeds for gas across the country are limited to a maximum of 10 gallons per minute. So that's a nice standardization.
Wow.
Just found that out.
Look at you.
Now you know.
All right, folks, it's game time. We're going to be doing our first charging session, pulling into Smelterville. Yes, you heard me correct. Smelterville in about a mile. And we've got this down to a science. We know what we're doing. We got Alex, who's going to push the button to open the charge port. We got Shane, who's going to run around the car and do the plug and charge, and I'm going to film it all. So here we go. Exit 48 Smelterville. I see the Walmart over there. It says it's back here. All right. All right, we're plugged in. Alex, good job driving, man. Crazy.
You got this.
Oh, we hear it.
We hear that. That's the sound we like to hear.
What state of charge are we at here?
13%.
13%. Wow. Okay.
305 was the peak.
305 was the peak. Wow. That's what we're talking about.
Back up again. 310.
310.
Update, the Lucid is well in the lead. They're already at our next planned charging stop, and we're 30 miles away from it.
Lucid just plugged in at like 13%. They're doing almost 300 kilowatts. Not quite, but high 200s. And we peaked at 187. Oh.
First pit stop for food.
Yes, sir. I'm pumped.
Yeah, finally some food. We have been driving for, 6 hours, 5 hours?
I'm feeling the no food now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely sitting in the back, not eating any or not doing anything. I definitely noticed I was like struggling a little bit.
Gotcha.
Do you get nauseous? Or?
No, I don't get nauseous. Unless Kyle's driving me through the mountains, then I do. But we're getting some Mickey Dickies and we're back on the road.
Well, the I-7 has now ticked up to a 0% arrival, which means we're getting very close to making it. It's predicting over 300 miles on a full charge, which is what I would have expected. And we've done the big elevation gain. We're at 2,000 feet right now. So 180 miles of range, 0% arrival to get there at 175. I think we're going to put in a buffer of maybe 5%, 7%. We just don't totally know this car yet. And we are about to be passed by the old Model S.
Yep.
and that sucks.
That sucks. And again, the car was blaming the charger a little bit.
Yeah.
And the charger said it was ready to give full power.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to believe, but right now we've been getting everything we want. So the EVgo does this, they'll reduce the maximum communicated to the car based on what we're pulling, because cars like e-Golf sometimes, and some others, if they see like 500 amps available, they freak out and they just stop charging. So this is to prevent bugs with other electric cars, that tuning. But 62% and 175 miles to go. I think we charge 67.
Yeah, let's go for
5 more percent, and then we go.
Yeah.
Wait for the whites.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice kid.
All right, so we just, Alex and I just ran into the Walmart, and I just learned they don't take Apple Pay. What's with that? I mean, come on. So luckily, actually, that was my trick. I got him to pay, so he used his credit card. That's the sneaky trick. Gorgeous, nice Walmart. And we plugged in and we peaked up at right around 310 kilowatts. And at a 50%, we pulled in at a 13% state of charge, and 50% state of charge, we're pulling about 150 kilowatts. So our goal here is to go relatively deep into the pack. 80% we believe is going to do the trick to get us to Butte with probably a 20-mile buffer. We just want to be careful because there's no, I mean, we do have one kind of bailout, but we don't want to exercise that. This, our friends, is my friends, this is really where we needed to, you know, get this good charging session here. This is awesome. We just dipped below 150 kilowatts at a 55% state of charge. We've already added 212 miles of range, 213. This thing is just sucking the juice here. This is what we needed. We needed this good first charge, and we got it. So I would say so far, no mistakes. Strategically, I think we're making the right decision. But look at those mountains over in the distance. Look how beautiful that is. You can stop and take it. I mean, there's a picture right there for Electrify America. Look at that, right there, buddies.
Lucid is right over there somewhere charging. Okay. Which puts us back in second place. Nice. Just behind the Taycan. I say just behind. Taycan is about 9 minutes ahead of us, so not too bad, but
I think this is where their lead maybe starts growing, unless they have charging problems. That would be our saving grace, because I don't foresee us really having charging problems.
All right, we just did a little bit of math here, and even though we've got a big elevation change, you know, all three of us have agreed that we're actually going to pull out at 75%. We're currently at a 68% state of charge, and with the math, we believe that even with the elevation change, we're going to be fine. I mean, the thing is, we can always slow it down, feather it in, and we do have a relatively big buffer in here. But again, we don't want to be left out in the cold. We're going to have Shane driving. We're going to have Alex in the front seat. I'm going to sit in the back seat and eat potato chips.
Nice.
127.
128.
For like 1 second.
It was 128.
Was it 128?
Yeah.
charging stop coming soon in Smelterville, Idaho. The Lucid just stopped here. They pulled 315 kilowatts, so assuming we plug into the same charger as them, it'll either work perfectly or they wrecked it for us. The app's frozen. Love that. Oh, I guess the Ioniq didn't stop here. The Ioniq must have gone on to Missoula. Oh, we're screwed.
I just want to say that we are playing above the rim. What a stop, guys. That is the way to do it.
Fantastic.
Alex ripping it around the corner. I definitely need a helmet. And now we've got Shane. I hear he's a good driver, but until I see it, I will keep the judgment out. Oh, he's ripping it. Oh, baby, there we go.
Of course, yeah. So we've got a Starlink here, courtesy of NDC German, and it's been working great. We're getting nearly 100 megabits per second download speeds. It's about as fast as my home Wi-Fi, so that's been a really nice luxury that we've had. We're on our way to Missoula, and currently the route planner is jumping between 3 and 6%. Right now it says we need to go below 70%, so not entirely sure if we'll make it to Missoula, but there are definitely a lot of bailout options, so we're not too concerned.
All right, so we've got 242 miles to the destination. Is that correct?
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly 242 miles. We're estimating a 1% state of arrival, and we may have gotten a little too aggressive with the 75% as opposed to 80, because we're estimating a 1% arrival. What I like about that is we can feather it in, and we do have a bailout in case things start to add up negatively. We could potentially change the strategy, but for right now, we're going. Are we doing 7 over, or are we doing 10 over?
80 miles an hour, so we're doing 5 over.
5 over right now, just to be a little bit cautious, because we do have that elevation change, and so making it to Butte's going to be the real key thing.
Yeah, it went down to like 146. Now it's back up to 173.
Okay.
So, but we're stopping because we don't need any more than this to get to our next stop.
Save 2 minutes. Robert is taking over for this leg of this journey.
I get along with the Genesis a little bit better than you, it seems.
Idaho, peace.
Peace out, Idaho.
Montana, here we are.
Right at 5 o'clock. Sweet, and yeah, we still got an hour and a half. Currently in 3rd place? Was that right, Corbin?
Yeah, I think we're around 3rd.
3rd place, that's right. We'll make it to 1st, right?
Doing one better than our paper.
One better.
Early on.
That sounds good.
So we're on our way to Missoula. We are about 83 miles away. Looking at 9% arrival. We've figured out that after that, our next stop is going to be Bozeman. And we'll have to charge up to, I think we said, what, 75%-ish?
Yep, right about.
Which should take about 15 minutes-ish.
Yep.
So hopefully we get a good charge there. We're in the lead right now, so knock on wood, things stay that way. And
I feel like I got a lot of dry snacks, like maybe some cantaloupe or something like that. That'd be good.
Mix it up with a little bit of fruit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm chilling though. I'm having fun.
this next one's a Walmart, I think. So you should have 15 minutes to get more snacks from the Walmart.
You gotta sprint across, 3 football fields where they put the charger on the opposite side of the damn parking lot.
Yeah, if you succeed in getting snacks during this charging stop, you will be recruited by the NFL.
All right, here we go. Unplugging from charge number 3 already. Yeah, and we do know that some people are just on their first charge. We're on our 3rd, okay? Just deal with it. Buffalo Wild Wings. Here we roll. You know where you're going?
Yep.
Okay, good.
215 miles. So we have 216 miles of range, according to the thing. And we have to go 215 miles to our charger. So we have all our eco things on. So we can go here, Mercedes EQ, maximize range, and it turns off this screen. And then it turns off this screen. So tell us what happened.
Well, I've been feeling hot here, and we have been debating, so we gotta make this charging stop, and we have turned down the AC a little bit to preserve a little bit of energy, and I've been complaining about being hot, just realizing that my seat heating was actually turned on, in fact, so no wonder I was warm.
And the seat heating uses extra power.
Yeah.
So not only were you making yourself miserable,
I'm sorry,
but you were wasting energy. So
yeah,
cool. So we've got that going for us. But
yeah, I'm just actually sabotaging.
Yeah, that's it.
So Robert, how do you feel about this Genesis G80 electrified?
It's a pain in the ass.
Speed, what do you call speed?
In other words, it's pain in the actually smart summon.
Cruise control.
It keeps slowing down around corners. Yep. Everything else is manageable. The steering assist is kind of scary at times, but it keeps slowing down around corners. Dropped me down to 10 miles an hour below what I was doing just because of a little twisty bit. The car can handle it. I can handle it.
This road is all corners, all turns.
Yes, and it keeps slowing down.
All right, so we are a little more than halfway to Missoula. We've got a delta of about 19 miles between what the car says it's got and the 87 miles we have until Missoula. 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour over the last hour and a half, 105 miles. How do you like driving the 6?
It's nice, man. It's smooth. The adaptive works really well. I think the one thing I notice in this ADAS versus the Ford is it's not as jumpy and reactionary both on braking or accelerating. It's like sometimes the Ford, it's like you jump on the gas really quick, you brake. This is really smooth. If anything, needs a little coaxing to get up to speed. But it's been a smooth, comfortable cockpit. Everything's right where you need it.
Good.
Nice vehicle.
Lacey, what do you think of the front?
I mean, that's nice up here. I don't know. I would ask you though, since you're usually in the driver's seat, how does it feel having all that space back there?
That feels good. That's one of this car's biggest benefits. Got some Cheez-Its back here. Flat floor, plenty of footroom back here. I'm 6'2". Lacey's got the seat in a comfortable position for her, and I've got at least 8 inches of knee room, which yesterday I was in the refreshed Model 3, and with the seat set for me at 6'2", my knees were jammed into the back of the seat. So if you need a relatively cheap EV sedan with a lot of back seat space, the Ioniq 6 has it in spades.
We are now entering Montana at the top of the pass, and we have 31% state of charge to go 103 miles. The I-7 doesn't think we can make it, so I'm keeping the speed low. Driver assistance changed in this region. You can continue driving.
Wow.
What? So Montana has different, but we have Assist Plus. So it's like crossing state lines almost. But if we look at our efficiency, 2.6 miles per kilowatt hour since leaving, but I imagine since charging it's got to be bad. Yeah, 2.2, but now it's downhill because our elevation at the moment is 4,372 feet. So we're going to be gaining back, and I'm hoping the trip computer will realize we can actually make it. So I'm pretty sure we're good. I'm actually going to bump the speed up a little bit. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think it's just really concerned about the elevation, but we should be all right. Anyway, beautiful views. We're now in my favorite state in the whole country. Welcome to Montana, and we'll see you guys in an hour and a half. We are second to last. It's as expected, but I didn't expect all this to happen so quickly. Also, how did the Porsche already pass the Lucid? I thought it would be till Chicago.
Insane.
It's amazing.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, the race isn't over yet, but anything can happen. Anything will happen. But I just expected the Lucid to just have this huge pull on everything. And one thing we learned when we did the previous race to Vegas and in our Lucid testing is when conditions are perfect, when you don't have much elevation, when you don't have much thermal load, the Lucid is incredible with its range. But because it's so efficient, it is very affected by outside influence. And because the Taycan is already burning quite a bit of juice, I mean, it's a very efficient car, but comparatively, it's burning quite a bit of juice. It's not as affected by external conditions, is what we found in all of our testing, running Model S, Lucid, and Taycan side by side. And here it shows the first leg, big elevation, big speeds, all of these things that, you know, really pulls down its maximum distance capability. But it still went pretty far.
Joining us in the Model S Plaid, and we're actually going to be bailing out a little bit. As you can see, we're right at our exit. We've got our Starlink going as well, which has been nice. We just weren't able to make it to Missoula without slowing down significantly, so we figured this would be a better option. And it's a 250 kilowatt charger right off the highway, so about as good as we could hope for.
That's where we wanted to go anyway. It's like 5 minutes. We're ripping at 256 right now.
As we can see, actually 258. And we can get our trip stats real quick. As you can see, we went 96 miles and 341 watt hours per mile.
We were going on up the mountain, and we kept watching our state of charge dropping pretty slow, and the car was starting to tell us that we're gonna have to go a lot slower to get there. So we did a short stop at the St. Regis supercharger. We went in there and we plugged in for 2 minutes, peaked at 257 kilowatt, and we were able to add about 16% battery, which was just enough to get us to Missoula to the next V3 charger. We're going to do everything we can to keep taking advantage of that charging current and keep rolling.
Surprisingly, even though we've been averaging like 75, 80, we're still getting 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour. That's not terrible. I'm sure the Beamer's averaging like 2.4 doing the same stretch. And the Beamer's behind us, right?
Yes. We are in beautiful Montana, just gone past the cutoff to head up to Glacier National Park, one of my favorite places in the world, probably my favorite place in the world, actually. And things are good here in the I-7. We have 69 miles predicted range, which is awesome, and 68 miles to get there. So things are perfectly calculated. William, do you think we'll make it?
Yeah, I guess so.
We have no bailout options, right?
Yeah, no bailout options. There's just a Tesla supercharger that we can't use in between here and our next charging stop.
Yeah, so, and Chris, what do you think about all this so far? We didn't talk much on the video yet, but you have a couple Teslas. You're Alyssa's uncle. I don't know if we even introduced you in the video, but I drove your Model S from Minneapolis when you bought it.
Yeah, absolutely. You found it, and then you drove that to Manchester.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. So you've done a couple EV road trips. What do you think about the CCS thing, the BMW thing? I mean, the car, I think we all agree, is an amazing car, but what's your impression so far?
I think the BMW car is amazing, but the CCS needs a lot of work. I think everybody's watched me struggle with it. I don't struggle like that when I go into a Tesla supercharger. So I think that infrastructure's got to change massively. But the car's nice. Great radio.
Yeah, that's right. Sound system's amazing in this one.
It's amazing, comfortable seats. We just got a big front end that we got to move air.
That's right. We've got that big slab up there, but everything's going well. I'm going 5 under the speed limit right now.
I know. I saw the speed going 80, and I'm like, I gotta tell them. They're like, no, we gotta make it.
We gotta make it. So we're just holding this 1 mile buffer, and no, now it's a 0 mile buffer, and we've been going slow. No, now we're back to 1. Okay, great.
So I have confidence in that you're gonna get us there with 0, but I would never do that.
All right, so we're about 150 miles outside of Butte, and we are popping anywhere between 2, 3, and 4% state of charge arrival, which is good, and we're just having to be careful. We are pushing it as much as we can, especially on the downhills, but Shane is being super careful on the uphills, and we've limited the speed a little bit when we break it down to a 1% state of charge. So we're gonna be in good shape, I believe. We still have a relatively big uphill climb that we need to go through, but we've got the speed limit here of 80 miles an hour just outside of Missoula, but the max we can go, as per the rules of this race, is 85. But boy, is this car just solid. I don't hear any creaks, rattles, rolls. I mean, it's solid. The wind noise is, this thing is screwed together really well. I'm impressed, and I think that the software is definitely much more usable. I mean, for example, when we were trying to do just kind of like take us to a certain charging stop, and it would tell us, being conservative, to input an intermediate stop. And I remember when I had my Lucid, you couldn't eliminate that charging stop, and it was a pain. So, but now you can. So it's little things like that. The fact that they have now put in creature comfort mode, not dog mode. I love that. That's awesome.
Okay, so it's saying the 350 is taken.
Yep.
Hopefully that's not the case, because they said charger 1, was it 1 and 2? Aren't even working?
Not working properly.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we were trying to activate it ahead of getting there, and it can't be one of our crew.
No, we're ahead of everybody.
So yeah,
the Porsche agrees only 1 station is available of the 3 functional stations at the stop.
The 350 is occupied for an hour and 39 minutes. What?
So somebody just got there dead and is, well, I mean, that could be like just their automated or whatever, their algorithm to like.
The other one says occupied for 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Wow, smokes. We got some Bolt or ID4s charged to 100%.
So we were trying to skip a charging stop and make it to Butte, and the car said we needed to charge to 89%, and that seemed a little high for what we were doing. So we left at like 83, I think. But we have 148 miles to that charger. And right there, you can see our current range is at 149. So we have a 1 mile gap, except a few minutes ago it was a 13-mile gap.
Yeah.
And it's falling. And part of that is that we are going our max speed. The speed limit is 80, and we are going 85, 86 indicated, but by GPS it's 85. And I don't think we're gonna make it. We were gonna have to stop at the Missoula charging station. But what we learned is to trust the computer, because it said to charge to 89%, and if we had an extra 5% charge, we could make it to Butte. And we might still, but now we are exactly 147 and 147. So, lesson learned. That said, 311 watt hours per mile is a little bit better than 3 miles per kilowatt over 440 miles. That's pretty good. So this car is quite efficient, even with all the stuff on. And one of our other drivers, when they were behind us back when we were in first place, took this picture, and so we were able to put it on the passenger side screen so that we could look at the rear end of our car, which is the only angle from which this car looks good. And that's basically it. So here's one other cool thing, is the ambient lighting in here. You can set it to this mode where it's actually connected to the throttle of the car. And so when it's powering, you get these little white stripes that actually go all the way down and even go into the back seats. And so that's pretty cool. And then when it's regenning, you get blue dots going towards the center. And then if you accelerate really hard, it turns bright red and flashes. So it's kind of a neat little indicator, but also it's like, oh, we're on the Enterprise and the stars are whizzing by. One thing that it can't do is it only will do like 7 charging stops at a time. So this is a destination on our route on I-90. So we're gonna say let's go. Let's see what it does. Planned charging stop, yes, because I turned that off because I was mad at it, but really I should have trusted it. There we go. So it says, and we're gonna trust it now, right? So it says to stop in Missoula in 28 minutes. We'll make it. We'll make it to Missoula because that's 27 miles away and we have 140 miles of range. So we'll get there with 31%, and then we'll charge to 66%. So we're gonna keep an eye on it, and we're gonna see what it says about the further station, and maybe we can make it work.
0% on the highway yet again. That's the true lifestyle of winners here. I say that. Tycon's still up ahead of us. They arrived at like 12% last time, but we are getting to our second charging stop. A bit less efficient than before. Before we were about 4 miles per kilowatt hour. This was just a hair under that, about 3.8 or so. And 157 miles since the last stop, 158. Yep, and it's saying on our route planner, 15 minutes of stopping time is what we should be seeing. So we'll see if that's actually accurate, but that's been a pretty good rule of thumb so far. We don't have too much further to go to get to Butte, or this could be a deeper charge if we wanted to skip Butte and go to the next one, whatever it was called, Brogue. Nice scenery. Definitely wishing we were getting here before sunset. We are also 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes front of the Plaid. And they will be arriving with a little bit higher state of charge than we are. So they might need to charge less. And I think they're basically charger hopping. So we'll see what we have to do. The chargers are all wide open. There's only 2 Rivians there, 1 Compass Yellow. And that's it though. We'll see if we leave before the Plaid even gets here. That would be pretty sweet. And that might be the move. Nicely done. Right at the charger. Jumping over. Nearly losing it. Open. And we are plugged in. 0 is the move. Just like before, right about 2% ramped up, 235. Come on, 250, let's go. There we go. That's what we like to see. We'll see how long it actually holds it. Charger 2.
Great. We tried this Charger 3 because
Three.
people say, okay, 2 was shitty.
Yeah.
It's starting now. It's gonna plug and charge.
Just
now.
plug and charge.
Oh.
Yeah, so this will be like a 45-second additional handshake time versus doing it with the app ahead of time.
Oh, no.
So
Plug and charge seems to have failed.
yeah, charging anyway. We'll see how it goes.
All right, guys, we are in Missoula. We've got 3.6 miles to go, 5 miles of estimated range. We are rolling in on fumes. We're gonna possibly do 2 different things here. There's currently only 2 150 stations available, and the Taycan just got here a little bit before us, and pretty sure they have the only operational 350 that we know of. So we might just be charging for a few minutes to get up to 125 miles or 140 miles of estimated range to get to Butte. And then from Butte, we will charge for probably 10 to 15 minutes to make it to Bozeman from there. If for some reason this 350 opens up in the next 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and we get that, then we're gonna charge as much as we can so that we can go straight to Bozeman.
So we have a button here called charging, and we can see that we have our preconditioning here, and it's currently set to automatic because that's the only option. You get automatic or manual, or not at all actually. And so what it has is it tells us our current maximum charging that the car will accept. So at 32% here, it'll charge at 184, and we have 2 little icons, and the icon on the left of a little battery is basically saying, because of the state of charge of the car at 32%, it is lower than maximum charging speed. And also that one on the right says the battery is the wrong temperature. So as we approach our charging stop here, which is currently 11 minutes away, it will keep heating up the battery, and the maximum charging speed will increase up to a maximum for the car of around 200 kilowatts. So we're close to the max here, and what we're gonna do is, because we could not make it to Butte on the charge that we had, is we're going to do a little splash and dash, and we're gonna get there in about 10 minutes, 11 minutes, and we are going to get a 10-minute charge from 30 to 46, which will be enough to get us to Butte by 9:30, where it says we will do a 10% to 66% charge, and then on to Billings, where we and everyone else has to do a very deep charge. So we're gonna have to go from 10 to 89 in order to make our way to Rapid City. So we can see the spacing here. That is that one in Billings, and we got a big gap over here to Rapid City, and then we make our way. So we're deep in the middle of Montana. We're gonna be in Montana for a long time.
We expect to see the Porsche here.
1 or 4.
Oh,
it's this one.
There they are.
Here's the Porsche.
Go to the
Is this
one,
one?
Go to the one over there.
So they have the only working 350 station right now.
All right, you're good. You're good.
That one?
I guess we'll see if it works. Did you try a few of them, or did you like start at this one?
Well, we knew that this one was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's number 2 that's derated.
I'm having an existential crisis here.
Decisions.
Try, you'll never know.
No.
So there's a chance you guys did try this station, and you're trying to sabotage us by saying it works, but it doesn't.
I'm not lying to you.
Okay, that's exactly what a liar would say.
My FDA app is in like a state of...
All right.
It's not even recognizing that it's connecting to the vehicle. I don't think that, yeah. Nope, abort.
Abort, abort.
Wait, where'd my phone go? Oh, it's in my...
Well, maybe that was meant to happen. We were supposed to wait for them to leave. Shows that they're clearly ahead of us. Good idea. Plugged in at 629, 2%.
Ramping up, here we go.
All right, so we're staying until at least 85, I think.
I think 85.
All right.
We can do a couple quick calculations, but it makes sense to skip. 185, 190. Let's go, baby. Give us all those electrons. Let's see what it thinks it takes to get there while we're doing this here. God, these things are atrocious, these.
All right, we've hit 77. It's time to go. All right. You happened, she's driving. Okay, great. Yeah, she's driving. I'll go in the back. Sweet.
And here's the plaid. Just enjoying some McDonald's. Healthy. Plug it. That's gotta be improved.
We're currently at 11% state of charge. We're at 63 miles, 385 watt hours per mile.
It was nice knowing you, Andy.
Nice seeing you, Andy.
Good luck. Andy the German, everybody. All right, 50 kilowatt hours delivered. We're off to Butte. And we have actually more buffer than we even need, but that's okay. Totally okay.
Go.
We're in second place. Everyone stopped to charge.
Yep.
And now we just need to catch up to the Lucid, which will probably stop in 80 miles or so. And we've got half a tank of 200 miles left of range. So we're going to be in first place in the next 3 hours or so.
All right, here we are in Missoula, and we are going to plug and charge. That should go right in, and it should auto-activate. Let's see what happens.
Not charging.
Charging station fault. Yeah, plug that one. Uh-oh. Let's try this again.
7.
I've only been here for 1 minute so far. All right, we're going to try this again. So, this one is not working. Because they tried to connect and it didn't work, and then we tried to connect and it didn't work. Excellent. All right, so we got something moving here. It's starting to go. Unfortunately, this is a 150. All right, so that's 84. We are speeding up, and it says continue with 46%. 10 minutes 92 is all we're getting. So thank you, Electrify America.
All right, so the Mercedes just pulled up. Thankfully, we took the fast charger, but I ran into a friend here. So, hey, do you want to introduce yourself to the channel?
Yeah, I'm Jesse Tarian. I'm with Yellowstone Teton Clean Cities. We're a program of the Department of Energy, and we have a grant that we work with called Drive Electric Montana. We have one in Wyoming as well. We promote EVs, EV charging, let people understand how EVs work.
That's awesome. So, can you give a little more background on the Clean Cities, since I definitely don't know anything about it?
Yeah, like I said, Clean Cities is a program of the Department of Energy. They've been around for over 30 years. There are 75 clean cities across the country. Our specific clean cities, Yellowstone Teton Clean Cities, we cover Montana, Wyoming, and most of Idaho. Our specific coalition has been around for over 20 years, and we started out focusing on stuff in Yellowstone National Park, but now we cover all the surrounding areas.
Awesome, yeah. So for a little more background, I used to work at Drive Clean Colorado, and so we're the exact same, one of 75 coalitions around the U.S. We also had a Drive Electric program, so happy to see the same work being done in different locations.
Yeah, we're in the second 3-year iteration. So we're learning from the first people like you guys who did the first 3 years.
Hey, well, hey, it was nice to run into you, so hopefully we'll see you at some future events.
Thanks.
All right, we're somewhere in Montana. Tom's driving. We got about 13% empty, and we're going to arrive here at 3%, which is right about right. We're going to head into Superior, Montana. Alex in the back. Cruising through some beautiful mountains. And we were just talking about the fact for a 12-year-old car, this feels pretty good. I mean, there's some things that are missing, like USB-Cs, faster charging, but Tesla was pretty ahead of the game 14 years ago. What do you think?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like the fact that this is a probably 12-year-old car, and it's honestly, besides the charging curve, it can like legitimately fit in today's market. And even more so used market. Like air suspension is still super smooth. Ride isn't that loud. We have the sunroof, so that's probably where a lot of the noise is coming from. But handles well, old school stocks. OS is still pretty up to date to use. It's honestly really,
especially compared to 90% of the new cars out there, they have nothing like that.
Exactly. This still beats a current GM UI in my opinion.
For sure. So Volkswagen.
We've finished. We got our McDonald's. We got out a little bit before, so we came back to the car, which was just done charging, picking up Andy. It was a pretty smooth operation, all things considered.
Secure that drink. In it.
And we're off.
All right, we are going to change stations here. So the other charging station was not giving us good power. So we're gonna try this one and see if we can do better. All right, now we're pulling 140. We're still at 150 kilowatt station, so that is probably as good as we're gonna get. We're gonna do 7 minutes of charging here to 51%. We're just gonna follow what the car says because we think it is going to take care of us. We'll do this, it's a quick dash, 120 miles to Butte, and then we do a 27-minute charge. Hopefully the Electrify America stations there will work.
Guys, looks like we're going to make it into Missoula just fine, just picking up the pace. We have 4% state of charge, another 10 miles to get to the station. Should be easy all day long. And so we've picked up the pace now to the max allowable speed, and we are going to get into the station dead. Hope we get a working 350 kilowatt station and hope we can get back in this race with the i7. We did not precondition for this charging session because I didn't want to burn the juice. I just put the headlights on as it's starting to really get dark. So we gave up preconditioning, but I'm hoping the German thermal management is still really good. And it's also 69 degrees outside, so it's cool enough to keep the battery at the right temperature, I hope. So yeah, fingers crossed this all works out pretty well. But we've got 11 miles indicated, 9.3 to go, and I think we timed this perfectly. We probably should have waited at the charger before an extra minute or two, and then we could have maintained high speed.
Yeah.
But we were, you know, the car said you'll get there with 5%. So we know we cannot trust the car on unplug, and we will do manual calculations in the i7.
The Ioniq 6 is here. Oh, the EQS is here too. Oh my god, I didn't even see that.
Okay, well, we're gonna...
Well, 90 is better than nothing.
Yeah. But I think my stuff working.
Let's go around the side.
I bet we're gonna get full power where they were derated.
Oh, here we go. Processing payment. This is taking a long time. Initiating charging. Man. Oh, they left. Yeah. Let's go one.
Yeah, let's go that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Here, I'll do this part. Get the thing handle.
Oh, it's warm. I'll use the other handle. Here we go.
All right.
We're at 20-something%.
20 to 80 is 22 minutes. So we got 20 minutes. Speed.
Charging started.
Charging started.
Just hit turtle mode at 2%. It just popped up in my head-up display, but I don't actually see it on this display. But I got the little reduced power on my big giant head-up display here. And we just get, this is BMW's version of reduced power, right there. Just that little tiny bit of power limit. Wow. And at 2% we get, you know, almost full power, but they'll start to electronically limit our power output as we get lower, but very typical German, outputs full power all the way to 0. And because this one's the rear wheel drive, it doesn't take as much maximum power as like an M70 version of this car. It means we really can run it all the way out and still get maximum performance. But we're about to exit in 0.7 miles. So speed limit just dropped, so we're on to full regen.
All right, so we finished our charge and we are on the road, and I'm getting better at this whole videoing thing. This was a terrible charging stop. The 350 that we stopped at first was not working at all, did not start. The 150 we went to from there was derated, and we couldn't get above, what, 90? And then it started dropping from there. So we went to the other 150, and that one did pretty well, and we got 143 or so, and then we actually ruined the charge for the Ioniq, which was on a different charger. They were on a 350 and should really not have been affected by us, but they were. So overall, this was a terrible charging session, but we are going 120 miles to Butte, our original hopeful destination that I don't really know if we could have gotten there at all.
This is insane how far off the highway this is. Can you believe that, William? I mean, in Norway, is this common to see charging this far off of a main road?
No, I would skip it in Norway.
Yeah. Well, we don't have this option.
Yep.
See, the charger doesn't even know we're plugged in, so we will grab this cable. Will it reach, or should I move the car?
You need to back up.
Okay.
Wow, I did that on my own.
Oh, nice.
I'm so proud of myself.
All right, we're at least got it charging, but on a 350 amp limited charger. And so we are at what percent state of charge? It doesn't say. I think 1% or 2%. So we could have burned a little bit more on the way. Let's take a look.
We also have with clean cities.
Initiating charging.
There are 75 clean cities around the country.
And come on, fingers crossed. Yeah, it says it's charging, but I want to make sure we're getting good power. This thing seems to be doing well. Yeah, 100 and plus. What does this say? 82 kilowatts. Dude, bad. It's limited to 80 kilowatts. All right, so we need to try that one. Yeah, because it's not. Let's just give it a second, but. Yep. No, we have to move the car. Yep. So we're going to go to the other side. It's limiting us at basically less than 200 amps. Holy smokes.
No, come on.
No, we're good.
Oh,
it's
good.
just like, why do we have to do this?
Yeah,
Still
it's
years.
insane.
Okay, we're pulling into Superior at 4%. We would have rather had 2 or 3%, but I guess we'll take 4%.
Around here.
All right, just log in. Here we are in Superior, small town. 4 old school superchargers. I'm going to show you all what a 12-year-old Model S with PPF looks like. PPF on the front, not a rock chip after 12 years. Some bugs, but no rocks. Definitely PPF is the way to go.
But holy smokes, can you believe that? This one's completely dead, even though it says available on the charger. So this is why you can't trust like statistics for uptime, because this says ready. This one is derated to 80 kilowatts, and then this one's 120 kilowatts is all we were getting. The Genesis is ripping, just sitting flat at 170 plus. Yeah, at 51%. We can only dream about that. So as a Tesla owner, are you loving this experience?
You know, it's a great experience, and I'm staying with Tesla until this improves, guaranteed that. Oh
yeah,
God.
Or at least when all the other cars can use Tesla.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to road trip, you know that, Kyle.
Yep.
We'd like to get it going, but not here.
This is not great. Oh boy, at this rate, the old Model S might pass us.
Yeah.
Guys, it's really nice to see you on this journey. This might be the last time. No. I'm very jealous of your charging performance. You could have done this on a 150, by the way.
Yeah. I know, yeah.
And then we would be getting fast charging.
Someone else was on the one. No. Did we?
I think they were all plugged up.
Yeah, there's only like 10 kilowatts of difference between a 150 and a 350.
It's all good. Yeah, we're gonna take this cable as soon as you're done with it, which I'm curious to see when this thing stops pulling full power. But the car's good so far?
Yeah. Yeah, we all hate the highway driving assist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cruise control.
Oh, really?
It slows down dramatically around corners.
Oh, 7 kilowatts. The Korean siesta.
Get out of here.
Okay, that's their charging stats in the Genesis. 18 minutes. There we go. Okay, boom. Move the car. Now we got to take the 350. Good. All right. Plugged in.
Bam.
Nice. Now we need to activate.
Huh?
Nice. Yeah, we're getting that.
That's
Awesome.
a good one.
Okay, so those were our stats for the first session, by the way.
Okay.
I guess technically our second session.
Because I drive a Tesla.
And now we are at station number 1, 2, 3. Can we get 200 plus kilowatts now? Yeah, we're full power.
193. My guess
Close,
was
195. 2 kilowatts off this guy. Why do we even bring him? Come on. So we wish the Genesis best of luck on their next trip. Maybe we'll see them. We're still only at like 25% state of charge. We've got plenty of time to go pee.
We have faith.
I feel like we're the F-150 Lightning of this race. I've never been in the back. It hurts so much. But we chose this car because we knew it was going to be comfortable. We knew we could help optimize all of the other teams from the comfort of massaging seats, which is what we've been doing. And it's been so fun just to cruise.
It's a good cruise. It is.
Good cruise, and we've got beautiful Montana sunset. This has been great. This guy's over here getting plums. What are you? never eaten a plum in my
plum in your life?
never had a plum in my life.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I'm gonna go for the supreme party tray since that's what the i7 deserves, a charcuterie board.
It is a party in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna probably get some deli meats too.
At 47%, we are tapering down to 146 kilowatts. Still pretty good and still worth it to keep charging here so we can go all the way we need to go. Look at the absolutely insane ambient lighting here. Absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, this does not help us reach our destination faster.
I bought a bread. I'm gonna eat this. The loaf. No, it's a bread. This is awful.
Tell me it's expired.
You're supposed to bake it first. Oh, I made a huge mistake. This is terrible. I'm sad now.
I mean, you bought bread at Walmart.
At least there's no sales tax. Alrighty, so Adam is checking the current lineup. That's Redbird.
Yeah. Right now the Lucid's ahead of everybody. Next is the Acura, and then us. So we're in third place. Porsche's nipping on our tail right now.
Yeah, so currently in third place. Feeling pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Just go further to the left, see what's happening there. Yeah, so there's the old Model S, right, I guess?
That's the Plaid.
Oh, it's a Plaid, okay. And there's the Mercedes.
And Genesis.
Okay, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, Jordan took over this leg in dark mode, because it's dark. There's a mode for it. And yeah, going smoothly.
All right, goodbye, Superior, Montana. Alex at the wheel. Let's see, because our life is pretty rough, we're only driving 54 miles to the next supercharger. That's how we roll.
Yep. In the Model S Plaid, we're running into some interesting problems with our route planner. If you can see here, it says we're going to arrive at 3%. We unplugged when it said we'd arrive at 10%, and really quickly that started dropping. We've also had to drop our speed a ton. We're going well under the speed limit, but it's still continuing to drop. But what's really weird is the math doesn't seem to be adding up. If we look at our efficiency and state of charge, we should be able to easily make it going a lot faster than what we're doing right now. But the route planner is really not happy with things, and it's a little bit concerning. I think all of us do have a decent amount of trust in the Tesla route planner, so that's giving us a bit of pause. But regardless, that's where we're at.
We're heading to Butte, Montana, 112 miles away. We just stopped using Android Auto because you can't navigate in Android Auto and with the built-in nav at the same time, which is just infuriating. But anyway, we've got plenty of range, plenty of buffer, because wonderful eGMP charging curve. And then after that is Bozeman, and so far since we've left, we're averaging 2.4 miles per kilowatt hour. That's not great. Drive better.
I think we stretch it 200 miles.
Yeah.
This car should be able to do 200 with 70%.
Yeah.
66%, right? 66%. So we should charge to 70, and then we drive 85 the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the plan. Yep. The one good thing we have going for us is a trash can right next to the car. So we've just emptied out some of the trash. I'm gonna go in the back, choose some things on my tablet, like my seat massage, rear seat massage, folks. We're waiting for Chris. He's coming right now with the cheese board. We've turned into team food. So in the i7, this is where it's so painful when you just want to leave and go to the next station early. But we made the decision, just because we did our big food snack here, to skip the risk of going to the next station. Although middle of the night, maybe we would have gotten a 350 kilowatt station opened up. But either way, we're only doing 114 kilowatts at 63%, but we're getting ready to go. So Chris, you can get in the passenger seat. I'll leave you and William up front. I'm gonna get in the rear and get some work done. And then we will be pulling out of Missoula last, except for the old Model S. The old Model S is still about 30 minutes behind us. All right, guys, so we've learned our lesson. This is not a car we should deep charge. We got to do really fast shopping trips and just hop station to station and just run it to 0 every time and charge just enough for the next one. This whole skipping station thing that the EQS was doing, we can't do it because they were still doing 115 kilowatts at 80%.
Yep.
We're at 76 doing 85, 84. So, and we're much less efficient. So we just can't, we have to keep this car at peak charging speeds. We already knew that, but okay, I thought it wouldn't be this bad. All right, so charge to 80, I think, because we have to gain elevation and we have high speeds.
Yep, I agree.
Let's just eat it this one time and then we'll optimize later on in the trip, hopefully. We're at 80, time to stop. Hit this, hit unplug. Come on, come on, come on. Release, thank you. This one goes back here, car started. This closed, this here. Just go slow out of here, got the car on. So William's driving in America in a 7 Series, and I can't get my seatbelt on.
You follow that guy.
Yep. All right, well, here we are in Butte, and we have plugged in. What state of charge? 2%. 2% state of charge.
2 more than we need.
2 more than we needed. Normally, we would just eat it up with speed, but we got rules. Let's take a peek.
278. So I'll probably sit here, yeah, and I'll gradually ramp up a little bit more.
Yeah, I just touched it. It's going back up.
Are we going up again?
Going back up,
Yeah.
315.
16, 17.
Now we're talking, baby. Woo! 180 kilowatt hours burned. Average watt hour or mile per kilowatt hour is 3.3. So, and we're carrying good speeds here. So we just dipped below 300 at a 17%. And it will taper down nicely. We're probably going to leave here right around 65% is what we're thinking.
So we have a really fun group chat going with everyone. Chris, can you pull it up again? And I messaged everyone. I said, hey, if you're getting tired, please, swap drivers. And, I was basically like, I would sleep, but I'm trying to find the perfect setting in the back of the BMW. And Adam said Jordan and Andreas are in the back, both massaging each other. And what's funny is both of those guys shared, to be fair, a giant bed, but they shared a bed last night. And yeah, so we said, okay, they're in the back, and I'm not surprised. And then Andreas was saying that he's actually in the passenger seat, and their whole trip is sponsored by FSD. So that car doesn't have FSD, by the way. Basically, this is what's been going on all day. We've been having fun chatting with each other, lots of good camaraderie, good times, and that's really what this is all about, just having fun with our friends. But William isn't totally from the US, so just so you know, William, that car up there could be a cop.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first thing we think of when we see a Dodge Challenger or Dodge Charger. Yep, mostly Chargers, to be honest.
What just happened, Jordan?
Yeah, so it's 9 p.m. on the first night, and some places are shifting. We just passed the Lucid again, which means we are in first place for EVs. Acura is still ahead of us. And what is my turn? Okay, we're good. Yeah, we are about to charge up here, so we have to do a quick charge in Butte and then continue on to the next spot, which is Belgrade. Everything starts with a B in Montana.
Yep.
We call it Montana. Billings is after that. So those are not too long of charges. By default, the Tesla was telling us to charge here for an hour. And by ignoring its instructions, we're saving 20 minutes. I don't know why it would say that. It's clearly not built for our style of road tripping.
Definitely not.
Any other updates? I guess the Taycan's pretty close behind us.
Yeah, it's catching up. Zooming in when I'm up here.
Yeah. And we are now 125 miles in front of the old Model S.
Yeah, after only 600 miles total.
600 miles total. That's a huge difference.
Yep.
All right, pulling into Missoula at 3% or so. Yep. Alex doing a nice job driving, and seems like we're stopping every hour on the hour. Again, we roll in at the top of the hour, 9 p.m. Mountain Time.
122.
Dang, that's it?
Yeah.
Didn't even hit 130? Oh, 123. Oh, it might actually creep up a little bit because we're so low. I guess 3% is like where it hits the maximum. Oh, yeah, 124.
Okay, 124 is peak.
Okay, first error for the Model 3, my slight mishap. Butte, as it turns out, has 2 different superchargers. That's not uncommon. Usually, the smaller installation is V2 because they install a new V3 with more chargers. We thought we checked multiple times, and it turns out the tiny 4-stall installation, like 2 miles back, are V3s. So we chose the 6 stalls of V2s, which is a bummer. You can tell by the thicker cable, the silver ring, that's kind of the go-to tell on these, and then we missed the turn right there. I don't know, this is just a rough stop. Not a good start for us. Curious what we're ramping up to, but probably nothing great. 135 right now. But what's interesting is the car routed us here. Like, we had picked the 250 in Butte a couple times, and we've been playing with the navigation. They're like, you know what, we're gonna go to Billings by way of Bozeman, which is actually the other B-word town, and then it was like, okay, stop by Butte really quick. And so the route planner really doesn't actually pick V3s or V2s appropriately, which is frustrating. Tesla, what the heck are you doing? I would get it if it was like congestion, but no one's here and no one's at the other one either. So I don't know. Why would it happen?
Very frustrating, yeah.
I mean, we should have caught that, but that also, the car, especially the car known to have the absolute best software, should have caught that. So here we are at 140. That's not exactly ripping. But we only need, I mean, it's only 70 miles to get to Belgrade, so we don't need a deep charge. So this will just be an unfortunately long charge. It could have been a few minutes faster. We're not talking huge numbers, but a few minutes faster if we had just gone to the V3, which was slightly before this. Such a bummer. Right back here in Rocker. So 4 stalls available, 8 stalls. So actually half those stalls are taken, which means they could have actually been load shared a bit, like a little bit clogged up. It's possible. So, oh well.
Restarted. All right, so we just hit a 50%, and at 50% we are pulling 135 kilowatts. Now, to give you a sort of a reference point, a Tesla Model Y with a Panasonic pack, all-wheel drive, will pull about 104 kilowatts at 50%. So this is pulling around 30 kilowatts more. Interesting navigation here. Can you explain what this is saying? I think this looks really cool.
So essentially what it's doing is so it gives you some alternate routes. It tells you how much time it'll add and how much battery usage it'll add. So this route would add 55 minutes and take 6% more state of charge.
So our next stop, we're going to Billings.
And then if you zoom in on here, you can see these red lines. So it thinks on each of these separate routes, it's estimating this is where you'll run out, or where you're
based on the current state of charge.
Yeah, based on the current state of charge.
So this is dynamically updating the graph on the map with the color.
Yeah, I think unfortunately you just have to end and then restart your trip. So if I sit here and it goes up another 5 or 10% state of charge, it won't fill this in for you automatically, unfortunately.
Oh, I see.
So I have to go end trip, go find where I was just navigating to, go again, and then this will probably look slightly different again.
I say 58 and feather it in. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Should we get aggressive?
Do we have any backups between here and there?
Speed.
Good question.
I say we go for it, guys.
I think
Let's
so.
showcase this car.
Dave's about to do the honors, so any second now.
Oh yeah.
All right, off we go.
So this charge stop might be pretty long. We're looking at parting at possibly around 80%, so we could be here for about an hour. This will be our deepest charge today, besides when we left Seattle.
Okay, so now in the lead is the Acura, followed by the Taycan, followed by the Model 3, followed by the Lucid in 4th place. They had to stop to charge and everyone passed them, but they're back on the road now. Behind them, for a considerable distance back, is the Plaid, followed by the Ioniq, and a close distance behind it is the Mercedes EQS. And then if we zoom out and go way back here, it's us. We're back here. And then if we zoom out even more and go all the way over here, it's the BMW. The terrible BMW. And then all the way at the back is the Model S from 2012 or whatever.
Here we go. We're in the Model S Plaid, and look at that. Tesla chargers.
And that is my truck. Sitting there waiting for me. Same color and everything.
Our arrival state of charge was
2%.
2%. All right. Did you pull up the trip real quick?
On it.
Thanks. And we can take a quick look at that. Did you click it one more time? We are charging 136 kilowatts, 137. And it'll probably take a moment to ramp up, but happy to get it going. Oh, look at that. Double efficiency. Wow. Incredible. German engineering.
All right, not the fastest charging, so we're bouncing. 5% on the road. Backup key card.
Where's the key?
Right here. Okay, forward. Not sure why it's not detecting my phone, but maybe because the car is mad at us. So onwards, only 77 miles to the actual V3 supercharger. I have trust issues now. So let's see how well this works.
Saw you guys again. It was our quick little stretch from
I'm gonna get some food.
Missoula to Butte. We had to bail out because the EQS nerfed our charging. Hour 33, 118 miles, 2.7. A lot of elevation gain there. I think we're going to pick up some efficiency on this next stretch. So we're here pulling in 10%.
Recharging.
I think we only need to be here till, I think, 36.
All right, so we just pulled into Butte at 9%. At 9:23, and even though these guys left our prior spot, we pulled in just behind them. Let's see how our charging session. This is much more promising than before. We are rocking and rolling here. 198. Started at 9%. We are gonna hit 200, which is our max, and we're gonna be there for a little while.
Here we are in Butte.
Well, that, it took me 3 times to do that. Yeah, fuck this.
Pulling 231.
No.
231. I mean,
we got to get aggressive here. This is where we got to make up time.
Yep. Well, we had to wait for
All right. We got 86 miles to go here. We're showing 91. We're ready to go. I think as soon as Lacey gets back, we're out of here. We need to make up time. No need to putz around here. GTG, time to go.
All right, here in Butte, we have an E-Transit pulling up. I'm so excited for this. This is amazing. With things on the top. This thing's got like 112 miles range on a good day. This is amazing. I'm so...
Gotta hear what his efficiency is.
I'm so happy. There goes the Ioniq 6 911. They are going to stop at a earlier charging station than us.
All right, we're out of here, guys.
And did that turn it off? Or did it turn it on?
See, now you know how I feel.
It turned it on though.
Yeah. All right. Woo! EQS team out.
Yeah, how the
Plugging in.
That was fast.
And so they just did a little splash and dash. And goodbye. Whereas we still have quite a while to go.
All right, Andy, we just got back on the highway. Can you tell us what we just went through?
We went through some slow driving, basically below the speed limit, and so we realized we can actually make it with about 2% charge left. So we sped it up to go back to 86, our maximum speed that we can go, and I think we arrived with 1% at the supercharger. We met 2 out of spec viewers in their Ford Lightnings charging at the charger, and we juiced up and we're on our way now to the next charger.
I found this Lucid hogging the left lane. I think I'll pass it. Well, we just made a small little error there, and we're like, what's that car coming up behind us? It looks like a Model S, and there it was, the Model 3 rear-wheel drive. And you know, this is a difficult game, right? The speed limit went up, and we were on cruise, and
somehow I missed it. I just
somehow it's all good. Now, is he punching it, or what are we doing here?
Oh, it's on highway assistance slowing me down. Come on, Lucid.
You got to turn off that.
Yeah, I'm going blue adaptive.
Just put it on adaptive and steer.
That's it.
That's an interesting thing. What happens with this Lucid is around corners, it slows down. Highway assist. How about highway degradation? I don't know why it would do that. I mean, it wasn't like that abrupt of a curve there. So if you got to peg that 2 over, so you know, GPS, let's call it 87 is 85, and if you're using highway assist, it'll slow down around the curves.
Yeah, just for like comfort and convenience. But
is that what it's for?
Yeah, I think so. Just so that
comfort and
your soft body isn't subjected to such lateral loads. But we're hard and we don't need comfort or convenience. We just want to win.
Doesn't that Model 3 look good though?
So we got first low fuel light. Taycan is behind us by 5-10 minutes, and then everyone else is following behind them 10 minutes each. Model S OG is way in the back. We're probably an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes farther ahead than they are. And we're just gonna stop here and get some gas, and then keep trucking along, and then we'll probably be behind the Taycan for
I bet
30.
We can probably make this work in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Pull it off.
A quick pee and then run to the car, basically.
Full sprint.
But then
we've got another 350 miles of range, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think we're past the mountains for right now, at least. I think we're losing elevation. We got race car driver here using the paddles.
Yeah, we're going advanced.
Shortcut into the ditch right there.
That's right.
But then I think the Taycan might be ahead of us for 15 minutes to 30 minutes before they have to charge again. And then
tank on the left.
Yep, it's on your side. And then we're out of here. We're gonna be just back and forth for a little bit, I think.
22%. Butte, Montana. Electrify America. That's all we've stopped at so far. 2 of 4 available. 2 are in use. Oh, it was right, wasn't it? This is showing a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. Pull into number 2 if you can. Run into him. Is this number 2?
Yeah. Is it?
Here is the G80 pulling in.
For the second time.
Yep. 350 ABB. Proudly listed.
Hello.
Hey. Hola.
Good to see you again.
Good to see y'all.
Dun, dun, dun.
Look at the efficiency as he holds the phone and he gets it in.
Oh, that was rough.
Oh, 68. We good?
Yep. Sounds me. You can go.
All right. Hit that. Turn that. 25 minutes, 70 kilowatt hours. Right to 68. Auf Wiedersehen.
Crew getting on the road, maybe?
Alright,
not quite.
Our next stop is only 70 miles away. We're going to charge up to 80% anyway.
Okay.
And so
sure, because we might as well, right?
Yeah, we might as well.
Right. And then when we get to the next one, we don't need to stay there too long. Just
no,
enough
we need to stay there a little while because the next one is 130 miles away after that in Billings, Montana. And then after Billings, it's Gillette, Wyoming, 230 miles away uphill.
Oh, we need 100%?
We'll need to at least 90.
Right.
At the EA in Bozeman, Target, just plugged in the Taycan, activated, really get a good charge. The battery temp was not optimal.
Yeah, it was a little on the warm side. I think it was 92 degrees.
Yeah, low 90 degrees.
It was at like 107 when we left the last charge or something.
Yep.
So let's see where we get to here. Also only rolled in at 5%, which is also not optimal, but hey, we're doing the best we can in the real world. 93, yeah, so we're getting a good charge here. We only need to charge for like 10 minutes. Yep, and then we're on to Billings. Getting a good charge here in Bozeman. Soft 319. We're only 6 minutes in, already added 30 kilowatt hours. So should get over 50%. I think we'll go to 60% and then we'll rip it over to Billings, where we'll have to do a deeper charge.
Oh, brisk, cold weather.
Yes.
Just woke up from a nap.
How's your nap?
It's good. Streaming of filling up gas tanks.
He was dreaming of skinny handles, which signify V3. Check that out. We should have a much better ramp this time. What's interesting is the last few times, the state of charge upon arrival, or estimated, was about 10% too high. So we dropped 10%. You know, it said we'd get there at 10, we get there at 0, said we'd get there at 15, get there at 5. This time, it said we'd get here with 5, and we got here with 6. So I don't know what that's about, but we're already ramping up here. 197, blowing past 200 now. Beautiful, love to see it. It did do some preconditioning, so we knew the temperatures would be ideal. It says 25 minutes charge time to get to Belgrade, which is 157 miles. So, big stretch. Biggest stretch yet, other than the beginning stretch. We can do it.
We have tapered early in the Taycan. Normally, we wouldn't expect to go under 300 kilowatts until go past 60%, but we're just a little bit past 50%, and we have tapered down to 200, so we might leave soon here. We're gonna go to 60%, but it might be worth taking off momentarily. 59%. As soon as we tick over to 60, let's go. All right, there we go. Stopping, and we're gonna go.
Unplugging. We are off. Maybe even to a different stop. We might even get out of here before the Plaid comes in, which would be sweet. All right. Off and off.
We need to plan better ahead, guys.
The Plaid is 3 minutes from getting here. All right.
Okay, we just pulled in.
11%.
At 11% state of charge, and we're in, where are we? Belgrade, Montana. We went 77 miles, 325 watt hours per mile. Currently at 150 kilowatts, slowly going up, and I expect it to ramp up very quickly.
William just said we need to look at bailout options. We're not going to make it. All right, I'll do a little research back here and see what we have, but 60 in an 80 zone. Good thing it's the middle of the night, but the I-7 in the cold weather, because it's what outside now, 50 degrees Fahrenheit? It was in the 40s. Yeah, consuming a bit more than we originally anticipated. William, there are no bailout options. You're gonna have to make this work. But the good news I have for you is we are at almost 6,000 feet of elevation, and we have another about 1,800 to lose before we get to the charger.
Pulling into Bozeman.
I'm gonna do number 2 since that's
Number 2 it is. Backing her up and on. And all right, what did we get here with? Let's see. 7%. Plenty of buffer. We got about 150 mile stretch here next to get to Billings. Wrong one. Nothing on the screen yet.
Yeah, I haven't even heard a click yet. The contactor's
Yeah. Please unplug. Plug in first. There we go. All right, connecting to vehicle. Electrify America. Never super smooth. Yeah, we're off cycle. Wait for your app to, there you go. Wait for your app. Give it a sec. So we just don't repeat. 2 minutes, 45 seconds of overhead. Connecting. Yeah, it still says trying to initiate charge. Approved. Payment authorized. So much for free charging.
Yep. Kyle, you're paying for this one.
Whatever gets us charging. Okay. Take 7. 222, not bad. 8%. I think we stay here. We need about 150 miles. We're going to lose some elevation across these 150 miles. We're 11 hours, just over 11 hours in. Just over 11 hours in. 673 miles. Getting 3.4. It's pretty good with all that elevation and high speeds.
What place are we again? We were 6.
Yeah, we gotta make up some ground for sure.
Guys.
I don't know how we're going at this point. All right, we've been charging for 9 minutes. We're still holding over 200 kW. Looking pretty decent. Took a while to get started, but once we got started, we are chugging along.
So update from the Model S Plaid. We left the last supercharger with 21% state of charge arrival showing, the 65% total charge, and we are now down to
10%, and we're at 55% state of charge. So
in 10% of driving, we have lost 10% of extra range. That's interesting. 11. Yep.
After 700 miles of driving in the middle of Montana. That right there, my friends, is a Tesla Model S Plaid.
Hearing aid beige.
Jeez. But it doesn't matter. It's 2.9 miles per kilowatt hour.
We only need to add a little bit to get to the next, to Billings, right?
Yeah, we're just going to hit 80% again, and
then at Billings we have to get probably close to 100% because then it's a very long stretch.
Yeah, that'll be a painful one. And we're not doing 85 through that. Four available. Let's pick this one. Initiating charge.
I just want to rip them out.
Oh, this is 4. Shit. Some mildly interesting charging behavior happening right now. It's dipped down to 150 kilowatts. Like normal, it was holding steady at 174. And it's dipped down to 150-ish before, but it's recovered pretty immediately. This time it hasn't recovered. But it's not worth switching units because, like, we're almost to 80% anyway. And that's 20 kilowatts down on what it should be, so who cares? All right, there appeared to be a weird amperage limit on this. It slowly climbed from 153 to 155, but it hit 80% now, so we're just gonna go. Get 130 miles-ish to the next. Hold on.
That was quite the long stretch there in the I-7. I took definitely a great nap, so feeling good for sure. And what state of charge are we at there? 2%?
1%.
1.
And we will be at 1 at the charger, it says.
Perfect. So we optimized best we could, used everything we had, and we didn't really even have to drop speed too much. The BMW route planner just doesn't factor in the elevation, or I should say, I guess it's either going downhill thinking we're gaining too much or going uphill we're burning more than we should. So anyway, I see the stations there on the right.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. All right, we have dedicated 350 kilowatt station. This should be a good one. Yes. William, I was asleep. Did we run mostly climb it off on that stretch?
Yeah, I put it on the end when the car started fogging up.
Yeah, when it was like, okay, you'll actually make it. Here we go. We've just completed the handshake and we should hopefully have a good charging session here. So ramping up. Yep, nope, that's great. That's probably 500 amps or close to it. So hopefully it will ramp up as pack voltage comes up, but everything's looking good now.
All right, rolling into Butte, Montana. 11:35 p.m. Alex driving. 22 I saw.
122. Alrighty. Let's see.
All right, everyone. It is 11:33 p.m. We are somewhere in upper something Montana, and we are
cutting it close.
We are exactly, it's the Lucky 7 update, 777 miles into the trip. We know we've got a little bit of a buffer in this car, perhaps as much as 2 to 3%. Right. Is my estimation.
Yeah.
But the time to play with that is not at 1 in the morning on day 1 of the trip. So I think we need to get to know the car a little bit better and do a little bit more math and gather the data. So I think it's good that we pop it up to 1%, then raise the speed back up, let it back down to 0, and just like, let's pop it between 0 and 1%. We know we've got that, right? If we do that, we're gonna feather it in with speed, so I think that's smart. But what we've got breathing down our tail is the Taycan.
Here we are catching up on the Lucid, I think. Maybe they had to slow down because...
Look at their headlights.
Yeah, because they didn't charge enough.
Look how slow
Seems like
they're going.
Yeah, they're going slow as heck. Man. Yeah, here they are. There they go.
We've deliberately slowed the speeds down a little bit. And yeah, they're significantly faster. We're doing 70, they're doing 80. And that's what 10 miles an hour difference looks like, folks, right there. I would have guessed 15 or 20, but man, 10. That's a big difference.
They're doing 15 because we're doing 70 and they're doing 75, 85.
Oh, they're doing 80. Okay, so that is 15 over. All right, well, that sucks. We've turned off preconditioning deliberately in order to save battery life because it is 59 degrees out. Now, Shane's got a super double secret, doesn't exist type of interface to this car that he somehow stumbled upon on a Lucid owners forum that provides what I would say is incredibly important information about the battery pack, specifically around the temperature. Right. So the optimal temperature for the Lucid to be able to accept the most amount of energy is around 31 degrees Celsius, which is 88 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's not at that temperature, then you won't be able to pull as fast as speeds as possible. So what temperature is the battery pack at? And what kind of level of granularity in terms of detail do you have in your little double secret sauce?
Right. So through this little API that some of the more technologically superior, advanced, whatever you want to call it.
Nerd level 9000 dudes.
Yeah, exactly. So those guys have developed an API where you can log into your Lucid account and you can pull up a bunch of really interesting data about your car. Right. It doesn't have everything, but it has some really interesting stuff, especially containing or pertaining the battery. So it lists remaining range, charge percent, gives you the exact amount of kilowatt hours left, its capacity, gives you a battery health percentage.
Does it tell you the displayed state of charge?
It does,
and
yes.
How much is really in the pack?
Yeah, so right now, or when I last refreshed this, it said our charge percent was 6.3%, and that is
there you go. See, once again, you're just using adaptive cruise and this thing keeps breaking.
Cruise, yeah.
That's officially,
wow, I just did it back to back.
That's officially bad.
Come on, go. Get on.
Okay.
Yeah. It just did it twice in rapid succession.
Something is not right. Okay, sorry about that, Shane. Go ahead.
Okay, anyway, so we've got the maximum cell temperature and minimum cell temperature. So we're at 34.8 Celsius for the max, 31.7 for the minimum.
Okay,
so we're actually where we want to be anyway.
That's about where we want to be.
There's probably not a really definitive way to see exactly how many kilowatt hours we have below zero.
Well, all we do have, though, is Kyle's video, right? Doing the 70 mile an hour test where we know that there's quite a bit of buffer in there. But again, we're not going to play with that at 1, 2, and 3 in the morning on day one. So, all right, cool. Good stuff. And we got a little situation with the ADAS. I don't know.
Yeah, so now you'll see that I can't even start preconditioning now that our state of charge is 4%. So I can't even activate it.
Manually, you can't. So under 5%, that's a limitation?
Yep.
Okay. What are we, about 25 miles away from the charger?
Just under 22.
22?
Yep.
And what's the state of charge that we're going to arrive at?
We're at 4 now.
0 to negative something.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again? We're at what state of charge?
4.
We're at 4.
At 4.
And it's saying we're going to arrive between 0 and 1. It's bouncing between 0.
It says insufficient range, so we're below 0%.
Oh, we're below 0.
Yeah.
I can't afford to run out again, guys.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, we're not going to do that.
Look at this awesome charging speed. we have just reached 200 kilowatts. We are thrilled about this.
It's sad. We're so excited.
Yeah, it's a bit sad.
So we factored at 2.5 miles per kilowatt hour. We want to add roughly 60 kilowatt hours to the battery pack. So far, we've delivered 54 kilowatt hours in 18 minutes. And it's been the best charging session, the perfect charging session for the car. This has been really good. And at 50%, we were just doing 138 kilowatts or so, 137 kilowatts. So that's what we should expect, which is pretty poor for a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack here. There we go. Port's closed. All right, William, let's go. Go, 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 go. in the drive. Car on drive.
Wow.
Hard brake. Massage is already on. This is
Oh,
lovely. It knows what's going on. Hands-free, auto high beam, awesome lane centering here in Montana with the i7. We charged up a little bit extra because we honestly wanted to just go the speed, and the car predicts an 8% arrival at the next charging stop, which is like huge buffer for us. So we are feeling the lap of luxury at the moment. We will be running massaging seats, the climate control. It'll be very nice. Putting a little bit of buffer in actually doesn't hurt us too badly because it means we will get good speeds, a little bit better speeds even on plug-in when we do get to Billings. The problem with Billings is we have to, the BMW couldn't quite do that corner on Assistant Plus.
Yeah, I noticed at night it's not as good.
Yeah, and you can look out the front, you can see it's, we do have some street lamps, but also the windshield's pretty dirty, and yeah, at night maybe not so good compared to the day. But still, once it's straight, it's no ping-ponging. We have to go to almost 100% at this one. This is the big stretch, and I'm sure others in the video have mentioned it already, but I think it's 240 miles if I remember, which in this one, at these speeds, is pretty tricky.
All right, bit of an update for y'all in the Model 3 up here in third place. Not counting the Acura right now, of course they're ahead, but of the EVs, third place. Looking at Billings, Montana as our next stop. 1% state of charge on arrival. That's been oscillating a bit. When we left the charger, it said 20. Now it's saying 1. But it's really settled in at like 1 to 2, so I think we feel pretty good about that. Only 17 miles remaining to use 6-ish, 7% of the battery. We go right off the highway to get to that charger, whereas the Lucid here has to go way off, and I think the Taycan is skipping it, which is interesting, unless they're taking a different route. But the charger, the EA charger here in Billings, is pretty far off the highway, which is a huge bummer, kind of like Grand Junction for those of you who are familiar with our Race to Vegas series. So that's where they're at. Lucid and Taycan are in front of us. We will pass the Lucid here shortly, but again, they're charging probably pretty decently. We just have the advantage of not having to leave the highway nearly as much. Further back behind us, roughly half hour behind us, is the Plaid. Same with the Mercedes, they're a bit further behind the Plaid. The Ioniq 6 is not quite an hour behind. Then we have the Genesis way back here, about an hour and 20 minutes. And then the BMW, 2 hours behind us, roughly. And then the old Tesla Model S, poor thing, roughly 3 hours behind us, which is wild. So quite the spread. It is gradually growing. When we left, obviously, for the first long stint, it was like, wow, everyone's together. But now we have everyone really kind of split into pockets, I would say. Us three up here keep trading spaces, although I think the Lucid and Taycan really do have quite the edge on us. Acura is just blasting away here. They finally have figured out how to drive that car, apparently. And we'll see what happens. Oh, Taycan did exit, so they took a different route than the Lucid to both go off the highway here to this target to charge up. So this will be interesting, Taycan versus Lucid. That's really what I am keeping my eye on, but we are, of course, gonna blast past them, take the lead again briefly, charge up. The only bummer, Billings is the last V3 supercharger for a long time. We're talking, let's see if I can pull my map up here. We're talking hundreds, I think 700 miles, something like that. So, to show you, there's Billings, and then we have V2 somewhere down here. V2 in Sheridan, V2 in Gillette, V2 in Wall, V2 in Rapid City, which is a slow V2. Not all V2s are made equal. There's actually some V2s that are 120, which is crazy. So, yeah, V2s all the way through South Dakota. I guess maybe into a bit of Minnesota. We'll see. Not sure when the next V3 is. We'll find out. But this whole stretch is going to be a bit slower charging. Not crazy slower, In testing by Tom Maloney, he found it was maybe 5 minutes slower, if that. So we're not talking craziness, but we do have to keep in mind the load sharing situation. So we'll report in, of course, through this section through the night. It is getting late. It's midnight on the first night. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on where everyone was, the whole crowd, and we are about to take first once again.
Day one is coming to a close, but the race is just getting good. All teams are making their way through Billings, Montana. For many, this next stretch will be the longest of the entire trip, extending into the late night hours as they approach Wyoming. So tune in next time for part 2 of the I-90 Surge, complete with police encounters, food foraging, and charging challenges, keeping every single team on their toes.
So we just got pulled over.
Oh my goodness.
Makes me wish we were staying here for
Oh my gosh, drama.
There goes the Genesis. There goes the police.
That is simply, is just game over.
We have prepared a lovely dinner. I think garlic bread that's supposed to be heated up. Dude, it was only $1.98. That's a steal.
All right, that charger was derated. How's the supercharger network letting us down?
You gotta put the leg around and then flop it in. That's how you single handle a CCS cable while you film.
We've been on zero for a long time.
Oh boy, it's the Plaid. You're not welcome in these parts.
Charging power reduced, extended charging period. So we
got throttled.
Yeah, and I must say the Badlands, they weren't that bad. All right, so the Lucid is angry at us, and it's telling us battery critically low.
Stop charging again? It stopped charging 2 minutes ago. Oh my god.
We've just hit 40 kilowatts. I don't know why we've derated.
So both of the 350s are completely down, cannot activate them.
And look at that, the fourth car pulling in here. Beautiful. Oh, look at the deer. Deer. A lot of deer. Oh dear.
50 miles an hour on the freeway. We're 30 miles an hour under what we should be going.
Here we are, 24 hours in, running on 1 hour of sleep. I feel great. I think it's the chocolate milk and gas station food. It's really getting me through this.